I fucking apologise so much. I was meant to... Oh, I'm taking my sock off. So I was meant to go live to restream DSP stream, his June the King documentary, and I'm very, very late to it. I have good reason. It's probably not very good reason, but it's good enough reason for me. 1 second. Let's get this up here. We're just gonna jump straight into it. There's some weird like ARG. Bro, what is this shit? Hang on. No. This needs to be seen. I just wanna show off my recommended D1 Prezi. Bro, that's the reason. Yeah, that's the reason. Look at my fucking recommended, bro. It's just analog horror shit. What the fuck is this? Ha! There's a DSP restream with 640 viewers. What the fuck is this? I've seen this. Is weird, Donny. Yeah, we need to get into it.
It wasn't a part of content that made any.
Where is he? Oh, I don't think he's reached the bit that I want to see. Yeah, I don't think he's reached the bit that I want to see.
Right? But I would not want to go back to do
got a nice kind of bar as well.
Solely on the fact that
oh yeah.
Entire, fast food is unhealthy for you, and I'm old.
I'm gonna put FF14 on in a sec. Grind a bit of that on.
Okay. Thank you.
$800.
Raspberry 8 bar.
PW Dubs estimating how much he donated to Phil. But why would he donate so much?
I never get tipped to help him out. The reason I tipped really was just to try to get a reaction out of them.
That's quite nice.
With PW Dubs continually
not something I'd buy though.
Rise out of Phil, bans were common.
Yeah, this guy, by the way, hang on.
I don't even remember that. I banned him a lot. I don't remember that.
Bullshit.
He was one of the people who was contributing, and my detractors went after him. Remember? Like,
bullshit.
My detractors were attacking him and trying to dox him and shit. I don't ever remember.
No, Phil, you doxed him, you fucking tool. Maybe DSP doxed this guy. I was there for that.
Don't remember. So let's see. Maybe June has the info because I don't. I really don't remember.
I would say things that sometimes get me banned, but eventually.
Fuck me.
Unbanned.
Like everybody else. Seriously, like almost everyone else, it was the same thing. People would act stupid, then they would apologize, and I would unban.
An update to
contributed. That's not the case.
The previous stream, by the way. We're not even fucking live here. Yeah, an update to the previous stream. Phil pinned a comment saying, important notice, after the interview was ended, Craig went on his own stream for multiple hours. Lie, he went on for 41 minutes, and all it takes is a look to accept. And accepting contributions from my detractors, insulting me. No, he didn't. He didn't insult you at all, funnily enough. Phil, you were accepting contributions from people that hated Craig as well, so it's like, what? I made the thumbnail preview of his stream my incident face. I can't say whether he did or didn't, because that video is unlisted. I can try and have a look now. Oh, he did. Yeah, okay, fair enough, he did. Who cares? I don't know. But anyway, this interview completely exposes him as he went mask off after being called out for his actions towards me over the last 1.5 years, and his actions directly after completely contradicted what he said in this conversation. No, it didn't. Phil's a waffle artist. He thinks... Ooh, little burp there. He thinks it's a massive gotcha moment. It's not. It's not. You're a fucking old loser. You need to get off the internet, to be honest. Yeah. I want to watch this. We're going to go 21 seconds behind.
Himself, but scribbles of black lines through MS Paint. Censored was his face, the expiry date, street address, and license ID. What Phil then did was post this email to a secret moderator Discord.
Secret moderator Discord?
That's exactly what it was.
Discord where my moderators talk. It's not secret. It's because we need to talk somewhere about moderation of the streams, right? He's at the secret moderator Discord, like it's some kind of a clandestine place.
Why is he delving into semantics about this? He lied about this, by the way.
We don't really talk that much in there. When we do, it's usually about the streams. Every once in a while, we're cordial. We talk about each other's lives, but it's just like a bunch of guys hanging out, and just saying, hey, what happened on stream today? Can you help me moderate today?
Oh, and then he ratioed him.
Secret Discord. All right, how silly.
Kurva.
11 other members remarking, quote, I mean, Jesus, why are we even at this point?
You ran from Craig. That was some bitch behavior.
Unquote. The few moderators that responded shared in this confusing sentiment. But Phil posting this license, even though it was somewhat censored through PW dubs, meant that he had doxed him.
Wrong. I didn't dox him.
How is
At
that
all.
wrong?
He censored all the information people didn't know. We already knew his name. We already knew his date of birth. He'd already told everyone his birthday, and we knew where he lived. He already had put that information out there on the internet. We already all knew that from his discussions in my chat. He sent me the censored license so the information nobody knew would not be put out. You see?
What?
This is not a dox at all.
That's
At
a
all, in
dox,
any way, shape, or
yeah.
form. Sorry, June. This is completely misinformation. This is not doxing. Doxing would have been if he actually sent me his uncensored license and I posted it somewhere public for everyone to see.
What?
This is not doxing. It's a censored document that he censored himself. And the information that's not censored is already public. He already told everyone it in my chat. So that's absolutely ridiculous.
He can't be this stupid.
Absolutely not. All right, it's not. Sorry, there's no one who's going to give you the L or give you the W on that. That's bullshit. That's not doxing.
He must be under the influence.
Phil had revealed his private information, though it was only to a small, uninterested group. With this information, a rat, well, more so a mouse, took note of Phil's transgression.
Yes, and by the way, for the record, this was all a setup. This was done. PW Dubs was egged on by Anonymous and detractors to do this. All right, just so you know, because I find out about the shit after the fact.
He was
I don't have
okay.
Evidence? No, because I don't sit in the detractor discords and shit. But this was all plotted out ahead of time. Because I don't know if he's gonna say, but Anonymous was my second mod that catfished everyone, made everyone think that they were.
He was egged on by the detractors to send Phil a photo of his ID.
Finally tried to
Okay.
Get me with a gotcha moment. We had already had a mod, which he didn't talk about this. Okay, let me go ahead. Let me go ahead and go full screen to explain this story. We had a moderator by the name of Marl, that character from Chrono Trigger, okay? And Marl was just a chatter in my chat for about 6 months, 7 months.
He's doing the same stuff he's been doing for years, by the way. The detractors, they're doing it. The detractors.
Hey, I'm a woman, and here's some stuff about me and stuff like that. And
Shut up, you fucking
befriended a lot of
bum.
people in the community. Eventually, Marl offered to be a moderator of mine. And I was like, well, everyone seems to like you. I trust you. It wasn't because Marl was a contributor or anything. He was just a nice person.
Yeah, because OIC wanted mod and gave thousands to then not get mod.
My Twitch. So for a year, I'm not kidding you. For a year, this moderator was moderating for me, and no one ever had an inkling there was anything wrong. Okay. One night, in the middle of the night, one of my moderators sends me a frightened email. Okay. And the email reads as thus: just so you know, I went into your Nightbot, which we still use today as the chat bot, okay? Went to your Nightbot and I found someone has gone in there and literally has changed all the commands. They're all things that are going to get you banned off of Twitch today. The moment you go live, if someone starts doing these commands, this is like awful shit. This is not only insults about you, there's racist shit. It's all in your bot, so you're going to get blamed for it. Like you programmed your bot to have all this racist stuff in it, okay? I'm like, wow. That's messed up. Well, let me take a look. And I looked, and lo and behold, it said it was Marl, my moderator, for a year.
Who
Until
cares?
we discovered that Marl was a catfish, one of my detractors, who had pretended to be a fan for 7-8 months, befriended everyone in the community, became a moderator, but got all access to all my shit, and was plotting this all along for a year. This Marl person had personal discussions with my other mods and people, that telling them all about their life and everything. It was all a lie. It was literally 100% fabricated to infiltrate my community and try to get me banned from Twitch. Think about how insane that is, okay? So that was time number one.
Yeah, but he got banned from
This
Twitch
guy,
anyway.
This guy's name is Anonymous, okay? This guy...
The thing is, you don't need to help Phil with stuff like this, because he'll do it himself.
He might have, but he wasn't a giant contributor or anything like that. This guy, again, was a nice guy in chat, saying, you know, being...
I think Anonymous did give a lot of money, yeah.
Let me put it this way. This guy, all right, was so nice to me. Over time, I did a playthrough that they had requested. They had requested that I would play Night in the Woods, which I had never really heard of. And I usually didn't play indie games. And I did a whole playthrough of Night in the Woods because of this person.
What a fucking philanthropist. I've done the
So,
same.
this
Like, what?
person becomes a moderator of mine. They're in my moderator Discord, okay? come to find out, this person hates me, and the reason we know this, they posted all this up on Kiwi Farms. I don't know if June will cover it. But basically, this person
Yes, he
has a
does.
secret grudge against me for something I had said like 2-3 years earlier. All right, something crazy, like not even like direct reference or anything to this person, but somehow it just rubbed them really the wrong way. I'm curious if June will cover it.
What?
I don't really remember what it was. And they had a secret grudge against me for years. And they became a mod, and they actually worked with this PW Dubs guy to try to frame me to claim that I doxed a fan so that now I get in trouble. All right? Did I dox that fan? The person who sent me an edited license, who had only information
Holy
in
shit.
public already?
There's a bunch of small cuts on the tip of my index
It's pretty
finger
messed up. Oh, by the way,
from
after this happened, they tried to put out a
like,
version of the license that
just
wasn't the
pushing
real
down
one.
on the top
They
of the
tried to put out
knife.
a version of the license that I think had different information.
None of them
on it.
have like none of them
To
are
act like it
bleeding,
actually
but
wasn't
there's
that.
a lot of
It was
them. Like it's
public information.
it has gone that
They
deep that
knew
it's actually like
where they
pushed
lived,
past the
we
layer
knew.
of skin.
And their date of birth we already knew. They'd already said all of that in my chat before. It's not a dox if you've already released that info and you're purposely editing the other info, right?
But it
Why
is a
else would this
dox.
person have unsolicited sent me this license? And the only reason I presented it to my moderators, I'm like, is anyone getting shit like this? Because if so, we got to figure out what's going on and put an end to it. We can't be getting people's information like this. No one's asking for this, and this is just going to be trouble. It's 100% a special secret op.
Yeah,
This guy
PW Dubs is a
said-
fucking idiot for sending his driver's
Now, this
license.
is misrepresented.
But, like,
I doxed him. I didn't dox him. Sorry.
his audience are
We disagree on this. That's completely
retarded. They're retarded. They're
not
retarded.
at all. If anything, you want to know who the doxer was? Anonymous, because he's the one that actually posted all this up later. So he's the one telling the whole internet about it. Like, you then are putting it out in the public eye, not me.
Actually, Anonymous censored it more, which
messed up.
June the King does talk about.
So
Like censored it completely.
I received a $5 super chat. Hold on. $5 super chat from Papa Gino.
Dockside
Who said
Phil.
if someone dummy sent me a picture of their driver's license with redacted info, I would clown them. I would also clown on them for it. And the thing is, did you read the message? I'm not clowning on the guy. I'm disturbed. I'm like, why is he sending me this? This is legit scary. Now people are sending me like legal documents and shit. I don't want this. Like, what is happening here? And that's why I wanted to show my mods. And I knew that there was nothing on that license that was private info because it was already public, what we had already known about the person. That's what I mean. I was like, dude, what is going on here? Anyway, let's continue because I really hate, once again, this is very similar to me to the PC issue earlier, where I feel like this is a non-issue. It's just stupid shit. But somehow it got into the dock and is somehow, fucking focused on here. Don't ask me why. So let's continue.
This rogue mod, known as Anonymous or Anony for short, was in talks with KiwiFarm members to verify themselves and leak both the secret Discord chat logs and prove Phil had doxed PW Dubs. But Phil was catching on. Now in 2021, this came to a head mid-March.
Like the Anonymous, they had the power in like Twitch chats like change the title of his stream. So they like changed the
Where are the
title
fucking
of
pirates?
when Phil was streaming, he changed the title to Dark Side Field leaks. I mean Dark Side Field docs PW Dubs. He made that the title.
Following this, and Anonymous's departure, Phil had to defend his doxing of PW Dubs and his secret Discord.
So his question specifically is, why didn't you ever mention that you had a Discord? We asked you before if you use Discord, you said no. Because it's my moderator Discord. It's none of anyone's business if I have something for my business behind the scenes running to be used for business purposes. The question was, do I have a public Discord? Do I have a Discord people can join and talk? No.
That
I
wasn't
can
the
have
question.
a private Discord if I want. I could have 10 private Discords if I want. I could have a fleet of 100 servers connected together, all with secret moderator Discord, and it's my prerogative to do that, and it's none of your fucking business. Why are you even care, and why are you asking me dumb questions? Mind your own fucking business.
He is right, though. He is right.
It has nothing to do with anyone watching the stream.
The doxing, the Discord, and his treatment of Anonymous made its way to Reddit, where it was fast to gain traction. Anonymous, in his post, made sure to censor everything the driver's license had on it except the words driver's license. Phil admitted that he shared the license in a small moderator Discord, but used the small size of the Discord and the fact that PW Dub censored some of it himself in his defense. Then
Which
came
is the same
argument
thing that he's done
Phil
now,
did
by
not
the way.
share the censored version, confusing Anonymous's full censor against PW Dub's partial censor. Even so, it was all a bad look for Phil. And not just Phil, but also Anonymous.
He seems to think that him doxing his viewers is not a bad look. Okay.
To full vitriol, all of which is typically welcome. To step foot in this space is to realize that everyone is a potential target. All elements of you can be criticized and brought forward for the sake of entertainment. Anonymous was no exception. Nigel UKIP was set on giving Anonymous a proper welcome by making fun of his appearance and his launch of his streaming career. This comes with the perspective some detractors across several communities hold that earning revenue online while existing proximity to detractors is a sin, as some view Phil and other streamers like Wings of Redemption as chronic e-beggars who are constantly unappreciative of fan support and money, though most won't care and are just there for the entertainment. And when Baby Anonymous's alternative fur baby fetish Twitter was noticed, that's all they got. The contents of his Twitter are highly disturbing and for that reason cannot and should not be shown.
Wow. Diaper, yeah, take diaper. That was a crazy situation, man. Like, it's like so much stuff in this workplace. It's like so many.
With Anonymous's image irrevocably defiled through his own means, he dropped off from the community entirely. As for what happened to Phil, practically nothing. This behavior was already expected from him. Besides, surprises don't come from him.
This is hilarious. This behavior was expected from you. You mean the behavior where someone tried to set me up? Make it look like I did something wrong?
Phil, you doxed your viewer. No one set you up, bro. Like what? Eh?
Yeah, you're right. That's why nothing happened. You're absolutely correct. Because nothing happened. It's fucking stupid. This is only you people who have the tiniest of fucking IQ and think that this is fucking important shit.
Phil, they come from everything else.
Me when I dox my viewers.
There's some kind of a glitch. Only Ice Coffee just realized there's a glitch on Twitch. It wasn't a glitch. I remember what this was, but we're gonna see it in a second.
This was when his partnership got removed.
I appreciate you supporting the community tonight. That's actually the first memberships of the night. Okay. Everyone's subscriber crowns turned bronze for no reason. What the hell?
He lost affiliate status as well, so nobody could subscribe to him.
Something just happened very bad is what happened, guys. Apparently something very, very bad just happened. Yeah, I'm not kidding.
This is fucking hilarious. I was there for that.
The subs are going away. Permanently. Apparently, they kicked me out of the partnership program, and I don't know why.
But Phil's suspension from his Twitch partnership was, according to Phil, because of the massive influx of reports of him using harmful language.
Yep.
Following this was the greatest weapon ever developed against Darkside Phil. Rated by user Piece of Peace, the DSP Tips Tracker spreadsheet is equipped with table after table analyzing Phil's daily earnings from his AM and PM streams.
Oh, is that it? He's already moving on from that? Yeah, so if he is moving on from that, FYI, I found out later, and this is something that I can't provide evidence of. Okay, I can't. I wish
He
I
hasn't
could.
provided evidence of
You know,
anything,
the
by the
person
way.
who's insider in this situation provided me the evidence, and now I know what happened because that was 2021. So over 3 years ago, this happened. Okay, so in 2021, my detractors decided because they saw how culture was changing. Correct. You know, me when I started on YouTube, culture was very different. Look at the jokes and shit that I was making back then. 2021.
He still makes
everything was
racist
changing.
jokes.
Everything was, as people are saying, it went whoa, right? And because of that, what my detractors decided to do was put together a compilation reel package of some of the things that you could say that I said and did back in the past that were very risque.
That's not true. He literally just said the N-word on stream, which, admittedly, I don't think was the N-word. But it did very much sound like the M-word.
Okay, so literally what they did, they made a compilation of it in videos, in like folders, and they sent it en masse to the reporting places for the things that I was working with.
It's a really interesting rabbit hole to go down,
They sent
DSP.
it to all of the streaming services that I was using to take in contributions during live streams and have pop-ups come up. They sent it to Teespring, my merchandise store, all of this, okay? Now the funny part about all of this is, the stuff that they sent to them was ancient. This wasn't like, oh, Phil just did something bad in 2021, and this is what's being reported. It was actually like, you know, stuff from the past. But some of these companies, for example, Teespring, was well aware of who I was in the past, the kind of behavior that I had done. Teespring recruited me to work with them. I didn't even have any intention of selling merch on Teespring. They contacted me and said, hey, we don't know who you are. We like your content. Let's get you in. They made a store for me. They actually made some of my very first merch ever in the Teespring store. Well knowing who I was.
Anyone wearing DSP merch genuinely deserves to be shot in the head.
Decide at once to drop me. It wasn't just Twitch. It was Teespring. It was all these all at once. I'm sure that's a coincidence, right? So eventually, someone finally fessed up. I mean, I don't know if it's 100% true or not, but basically, they contacted me and they said, just so you know, I'm involved with this whole thing on Twitch. I'm one of the people who like reviews reporting. And here it is.
Your reel has more than 500 plays. Cheers for telling me, Instagram.
And this was it.
It's not bad.
Basically, because all these businesses now are changing their mentalities on who they want on their streams, on their websites or whatever. You know, basically this got referred up the ladder. People looked at it in place positions of power and said, oh,
My Miss Noble video has got the most views.
even though I wasn't doing that kind of behavior on stream at all anymore, they kicked me out for it, and it wasn't just them. It was Teespring and
Why, I don't know,
they
but
all did it at once.
there we go. Nice.
So that's some coincidence. It was one and one. You know, no. they
Blowing
all
up off
happened
IG
within a
reels.
1 to 2 month period. They all kicked me out of their businesses for these detractors doing this. Okay, so that's what happened there with the Twitch. And after that, I still said, hey, I'll still try to stream on Twitch anyway. I just won't be
Going after his revenue streams is a bit weird, because the already brainwashed fans are then still gonna like give him money and give him more money.
Things I never said. Like I was playing what was Returnal? I was playing Returnal on PS5 and I got tongue tied. I was like, blah, blah, blah. I said something, you know, and they're like, oh, let's mass report him and say that he said the N-word. But I didn't say the N-word. But they mass reported me anyway, and Twitch is so dumb, they suspended my account. Then I appealed it. I said, are you out of your mind? I never would say that. And then they restored it like hours later, but already I lost my stream, lost revenue. And at that point I was like, so let me get this straight. You're going to deplatform me for things I did over 10 years ago.
Returnal didn't come out over 10 years ago, so what's he fucking talking about?
You're going to kick my stream offline and suspend
Returnal dropped on PS5 in 2020, I believe.
And I left, and I've never
Where is
taken a
this?
second glance at going back.
Oh, I know what this is.
The only reason I would ever go back there is if it
Yeah.
was an emergency. For some reason, I couldn't do content on YouTube. I would go over there temporarily, but likely I would go to another website, whether it be Kick or who knows. I don't even know where else you can stream right now, but definitely it would be that. Like
DSP streaming on Kick would be wild.
And the other funny part about some of this is, like, for example, reaching out to these companies, you'll be like, so why did I get suspended? Well, for violation of our terms. Well, what did I do to violate it? Oh, we're not required to tell you. We actually don't have to tell you what you did.
Which is valid.
Too bad. So then how would I ever learn from my mistakes if you don't tell me what I did wrong? Well, we don't care.
Of his 16-year history, Phil, you haven't learned.
They have no responsibility to tell me what I did wrong besides harmful speech. I think that's what they called it, harmful speech.
But like, businesses can say that. They don't have to explain fucking anything to him. It's annoying, but they can do it.
In a year if you want.
And why would he need to learn from a platform that he's not on? Like, do you know what I mean? I know he's on it now, but
He glossed over it, but I wanted to let you know how messed up these things have been for me over the years because of my detractors.
This included what game he played, who was the top tipper, how much did he make on average, how did this compare to the average. It also included analysis on his Patreon, YouTube, and Twitch. Phil's excuses, poor spending habits, and as it were, e-begging would be challenged with evidence like never before.
Except none of this means anything. Because when someone tips me, it doesn't mean I get it. Just because I got a tip now doesn't mean it doesn't get charged back, doesn't mean that there's not a transaction fee or a currency conversion fee. All of that exists. What they're doing is they're just looking at pure tips that I'm telling you I am getting. All right? So
yeah, but it's not like they're taxing 75 fucking % of it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what?
Anything, you know, for example, all right, these last month and a half, 2 months that, well, actually it's been about a month and a half now. Not even. Actually, it's only been a month. Holy shit. I thought it was over longer than that, but it's only been about a month. I firmly believe that within the next couple of months, I'm going to start getting chargebacks for tips. Because, as you've seen, it's been great, but I get them behind the scenes all the time. I just don't bring them up. It happens all the time, and sometimes I combat them and I win, and sometimes I don't. But literally what you see me getting on stream is not what I actually get, okay? But there's a lot of factors involved. So they're tracking all of this, and of course, they're, once again, just like they do with the WWE champion spending, they're grossly over-exaggerating. They're just assuming every single contribution is real. They don't factor in the clutch. They're like, oh, they're tracking the super chat. Dude, you can get a lot out of super chat, okay? I don't get it. Super chat, but they track it like, you know what I mean? It's completely disingenuous. It's no business to begin with. The fact that so much people are attracted
and as such became immediately useful.
I'll be playing Mass Effect 1 Remastered in a marathon setting, and my goal
Where are the
is
fucking
to
options?
raise funds via tips or patron pledges to pay the bills that I need to pay.
System config, here we go.
I'm getting any payment for my Twitch partnership because they canceled it.
Phil, on May 6, nearly 2 weeks after being departnered, set on raising money to pay his bills now in fear that he won't be receiving his Twitch partnership money pre the departnering.
Yeah, because I didn't know what was going to happen. If you get departnered, does that mean they're going to pay me now? They're going to pay me
Of
later?
course it fucking does. It's a crime for them not to pay you money. That's like saying if I get sacked from McDonald's, are they going to pay me the money that I worked? Of course they are.
From YouTube, not deplatformed, excuse me. But I got when my AdSense was disabled and suspended way back at the beginning of this documentary. Remember we talked about that happened? You got to say that's when I went to Blip TV in 2010. YouTube didn't pay me.
Then you need to pursue that. What?
$13,000 when they said that I had violated the program. They just didn't pay me for it. So I'm thinking, dude, this same thing might happen with Twitch. And imagine now, I work.
It would also be stated in any contract that you signed as well. And I know when you sign a Twitch partnership agreement, there is a big contract that you have to sign because Twitch partner and all that. Like what?
Scared. Like, seriously,
So him having a lack of understanding about the business he's in is just weird.
Okay? So
Business
yeah,
major, by the way.
it sucks that here I am grifting, here I am eBay, but I'm doing it because this has happened out of nowhere. My detractors have gotten me kicked out of the art program unfairly. Now I don't know what to do because that was a source of income I needed, right? I received a $20 super chat from Tyler. Thank you so much, Tyler. I really, really appreciate
His whole argument, and I'm not surprised, it is just my detractors, my detractors, my detractors.
It is a super chat and it helps the channel a lot. It is not considered towards the tips goal because that's tips going to PayPal. That's what the stream is concerning. If you're trying to contribute to the King's stream, it has to be a PayPal tip. Or you can find the description of this video. You'll see that link, or you can type exclamation point tips in the chat, and that'll pop up there too. But that is a very generous contribution. Let's get you on the leaderboard for it. It is Tyler. Thank you, Tyler.
Oh.
I appreciate that, Tyler. Okay. And for everyone being a troll to Tyler, enjoy your bans right now in chat because you deserve it. Being okay.
How much did he give?
But if we look at the spreadsheet, between the 2nd of April,
That's a super chat.
departnered, and
Tip
May
would be a
6th,
link in the
when we
description.
made the announcement,
PayPal is where you send the king his taxes.
$797 solely from tips.
And again,
Oh
that's
shit, I should have
bullshit
locked in here.
because that doesn't factor in people charging back. That doesn't factor in the fees associated with PayPal, currency conversions, and the fact that tips usually are spoken for. Tips go towards, for example, the groceries, buying games, paying certain utility.
He doesn't buy his own games. Fans donate them to him.
When we order out for the day. Well, actually, I don't know back then if we were ordering. 2021, I think we were. So for the day off, once a week, we order a meal, and it's expensive meal. The one time a week we don't cook. All that stuff is paid for with tips. The income coming in behind the scenes, meaning the Twitch income, was paying the bills like the mortgage, the car payment, all of that. So basically, they took away the payment that I needed to pay the biggest bills, the staple bills, right? Now, could I stretch the $5,700 that I had made within that month to pay everything? Kind of. But I mean, my mortgage was almost $2,000. My car payment was like, I want to say $400, $500.
It's amazing, yeah, how this guy's got no idea of his business expenses, but can remember his personal expenses to the fucking dollar
Because they took all this income away.
years ago.
So again, this is like a nickel and diming situation. Oh, well, we know everything that Phil needs money for and stuff. No, you don't. No, you don't, and you never will. So you don't know what you're talking about here. But
Yeah, to be fair, it is impossible for the detractors to know how much money Phil needs, because Phil doesn't know himself.
coming up with my mortgage because I don't even know what's going to happen with Twitch. I don't know if they're going to pay me or not for all the work that I did last month after losing my partnership. I'm looking to hit the tips goal every stream now between now and when I have to pay my mortgage in the middle of the month. You don't believe that I cook? My wife cooks. I very rarely cook. My wife cooks. Here you go. I have no other income apparently because it sounds like Twitch isn't going to pay me for last month. I'm going to pay my bills, pay my mortgage and everything because I'm not going to get that payment I depend on every month. You know, fundraising to pay my mortgage, to pay my back taxes and the stuff for the rest of the month. As for the mortgage, yes, I hope that things go well. And
Oh, I went to the wrong location.
Please support this marathon stream. I need the help. In particular, I need it for tomorrow for my mortgage. So if you can, this is so fucking embarrassing because I'm looking at it right now. It's hurting me, man. Do you think I wanted to act like that? Do you think I wanted to do that? If they didn't fuck with my partnership, I never would have had to do this stuff. I only had to do it because they fucked with my income. I mean, is there not like an iota of like emotion or sympathy or even like moral feeling that, gee, they literally took away a major source of Phil's income. So he had to e-beg like a loser to make up for it. But did I cause that? No.
Yes. Because they wouldn't have banned you if you didn't say anything ban-worthy. What? They wouldn't have removed you from the partner program if they didn't think it was justified. What?
False copyright strikes. I wouldn't have had to delete so many videos, get thrown out of the algorithm, have a giant decrease in views, a giant decrease in money.
Detractors can sit there and spam report all they want. I personally, I don't really agree with it unless you like Cyrax. If you like Cyrax, go for it. Get his accounts banned. Do whatever the fuck you want. He goes for children. Like, humanitarian rights are stripped from people that target children because they're not people. But someone like Phil, I don't agree with like going after his fucking sponsors and stuff like that or whatever. That being said,
that's 4 years.
They reported it. Twitch reviewed the situation and deemed it to be worthy of banning him.
That all started.
Yes, they reported it.
Because they kept fucking with my income so badly. And the apocalypse as well.
But it was bad enough for him to get banned.
But this is ridiculous. This spins it like the reason that Phil sat there in eBay is because he was pathetic and greedy. He already made $5,000 in tips. So obviously, dude, they literally kicked me out of the partner program for what the trolls did. I had a lot of income lost.
No, they kicked you out of the partner program for what you did.
Like,
they reported it.
I wasn't going to be able to pay my stuff. This is after the bankruptcy. I have to emphasize this too, because some people might say, well, I just don't understand it. Why couldn't you just put it on a credit card? Why couldn't you just get a loan? I couldn't do any of that. I had no credit. I just went
Did
through
I get
bankruptcy
new loot?
2020. So I had nothing to fall back on. It was this or lose something, right? So it was this. It was rocking a hard place. I had to act like this. But I look at this and I hate it. I don't like that I had to do this. This is pathetic. This is sad. This sounds like shit that I have to do this dumb shit. I hate this, man. Or
that was Phil throughout his marathon stream petitioning his audience for even more money to cover his bills and mortgage, which without the added pressure of the debts he used to have means that he already had enough at this point with the over $5,000 he raised.
Wrong. See, he's assuming my bills. He doesn't know what my bills are. Does he know how much I pay in back taxes every month on my payment plan that I'm required to do by law because I owe them so much money?
Probably. It's all very, very documented.
Everything? No. Does he know how much I owe attorneys? No. Does he know anything? No.
This is blue, which means it gives you an item.
In a car or whatever, and some food. That's $5,000 to know.
Oh yeah, these are your guild quests.
No. This is all false. This is all big false assumptions. Okay? Made just on guessing, and it's not correct.
By the 14th of May, he made another $5,000. The total between April 22nd and May 14th was $10,252.
And again, that's gross from what you saw come in on stream. That's not constituting fees. That's not constituting, when there's currency conversions and you lose some money on that. That's not constituting chargebacks, which happened all the time. They were happening literally all the time. I just didn't talk about them publicly because do you want to hear about every single one? Of course you don't.
Someone approached Phil with this information, which he dismissed. To make matters more interesting, Phil did end up getting paid the money owed from Twitch and framed this as, quote, just enough to get me through the next week, unquote. This vagueness will no longer fly. On top of this, Phil admits, even though he claims to be perpetually financially destabilized, he doesn't know or keep track of his finances.
Which is something,
I'm not really tracking all this
if
stuff.
you weren't, like, financially stable, you should be tracking, because you can budget from it.
Were making memes, especially as Phil's unappreciative nature became ever more grating to them.
Tips were really slow after pre-stream. No, tips were good until the break. Since I came back from break, there's been 0 contributions. 0. Yeah, because I guess people don't allow a streamer to take a break, because I have to, shit and piss and maybe get out of this chair for 20 minutes so that I don't get blood clots, but this is just me being a grumpy curmudgeon, because, now today I don't really take major breaks anymore. As you know, what I do is I break it up, so I'll do like my podcast, and then maybe I'll play some clips or I'll put the break, put some music on. It'll be like 5 minutes, then I'll come right back, we get right into the gameplay, and pretty much I play through. But I was breaking my breaks up differently back then, and basically, excuse me. Ooh, indigestion from dinner. Excuse me. Basically, every time I went on a break, it's like, listen, man, I really gotta pee, guys. I'll be back. I would come back, and like half my viewership left. It's like all I had to do was pee. Really, all I had to do was pee. Where'd everybody go?
Because most of your viewers are detractors, Phil, that know that when you do your pre-stream, the only thing you do is rant. That is where the most content came from. Your fucking pre-stream. Your gameplay, you sit there and say nothing most of the time, which is why nobody bothered watching it, because they knew there was no content there.
Yeah, there was no contributions.
It's just the same begging for tips. That's all it was. That's why most of his stream dropped off, because the detractors fuck off and do something else.
That's on me. If I'm coming out and saying
Most of Phil's detractors are not nearly as obsessed with Phil as he thinks they are.
I had to take a pee break, right? But like I said, that's why I break it up differently now. That's literally, I changed my scheduling on my streams. So you don't have big dead air in the middle anymore. You don't have a job. Because I think it used to be like a half an hour break, wasn't it?
He used to gin tweet as well, which was funny.
Do the pre-stream, do some gameplay, then take the break, and it was like 25 minutes. And then I would come back and do more. And basically, everyone would leave during the break. Like, more than half the stream would disappear during the break and never come back. So I had to change my whole strategy around.
I'm going on break.
Right? So on this one, June's got me. On this one, he's got me.
He's got me. Shut up.
I had to change my whole streaming strategy up on that. I will admit this one's correct. Okay, the whole idea of the fact that he knew what my mortgage cost, my car payment cost, my car insurance cost, my payments for back taxes, my payments for lawyers, my payments for this and that. He has no idea at all what I pay in a month for anything. To say, oh, he made $5,000.
I cannot wait
for the whole month
for June to get on,
he doesn't know that.
because I think June will rinse him, because he is sat here attacking June's credibility.
Components 101. Did June cover when there was a Twitch program involving playing certain games and getting monetary incentives, and then they ruined that opportunity for you? No, he didn't cover that at all. That was completely skipped. What about the chair sponsor that your detractors attacked? Yes, that one he did cover. Those were contributing factors of how you ended up in this shitty situation. You're right. You have to understand that unlike other streamers, I didn't have opportunities outside of what I was making on a stream.
Yeah, but don't do shitty things and you won't get attacked for doing shitty things, like...
Or any corroborating.
PewDiePie got attacked for saying the N-word. Do you know what I mean? Like, come on.
The majority of streamers you watch out there who do this for a living have all that. They have some sponsors. They have some, association behind the scenes where they're making some kind of money. I don't have any of that. It's literally just what I make on a stream. So when I'm losing out on my Twitch partnership, and that was literally like half my income, right? That's awful. That's absolutely awful. But he's glossing over it like it's just me being, over exaggerating. It really wasn't. Again, previously it wouldn't have been that big of a deal if I had credit. I didn't have any credit. I know credit cards, nothing. I can't put anything on anything. I don't have anything. I have to pay for everything out of pocket, right?
So why don't you why don't you start a budget?
Let's see here.
And monitor your expenses? Question mark.
Detractors act like people were forced to give you money. If you suspect a streamer is wasting money, which is now theirs regardless, just don't donate.
Which is completely
if you're
valid.
a streamer and you think that they're not using the money in the way that you want, then don't give them any more money. Correct? Right? The thing is, what these detractors don't get is that no one cares. Like, literally, no one cares about this stuff that they're so harping on and working about. Like, you know what I mean? Nobody gives a shit. And never did either if they were my actual fans. My fans are just happy to see fun content coming out of me that's free. And if they want to reciprocate by paying for some of it and helping out, they do.
But they don't pay for the content. They pay for his mobile game addiction. And if they know about that, that's quite bad. It's like sending a gambler money to feed into their addiction. It's like giving a nicotine addict nicotine.
Reactions in chat.
I stutter there because I bought my friend cigarettes for his birthday.
While others remarked that $136 is already a sizable amount. What stayed true was Phil was growing ever more frustrated during this time.
All right, well, we're gonna end it here. It's platinum vest. I'll put the vest on. Fine. I'll sweat. I'll sweat disgustingly. Since I'm about to sweat disgustingly on the stream, 'cause I'm wearing the vest. All right. It would be nice. It would be nice if we could hit the tips goal today. Yeah, because here's the thing, all right? Obviously, this is me hamming it up, correct? Me hamming it up. But
No, this is you e-begging.
Started, it was something so positive and nice. And then it became like, you know, people were contributing because they wanted to see the goal hit, sure. But there was no one screaming at me but my detractors to put the shit on because they thought it was like a clown show. Like, haha, look at this. If he's going to get some contributions, let's make him toss a whole bunch of shit on.
So the vest streak is now a detractor meme.
It's 95 degrees outside.
Is this downstairs or
Let's have to put
upstairs?
on the fucking platinum vest and sweat tonight in the middle of the summer, right? Ultimately, what happened is over time, I took control. I started saying to people, listen, I'm all
You fucking moron. It's your fans doing that, not your detractors. Your detractors don't want to give you money.
Every stream.
They can't 1 second want to take all away his sponsors and financially bankrupt him more so than he's already declared, and then the next minute give him all the money under the sun so that he puts a fucking vest on and sweats in the summer.
Clarified, or if there was a clarification.
His fans wanted to see that because they thought it was funny. They thought it would be funny to watch him complain, and it is pretty fucking funny to watch him complain about his sweating. Because Phil's fans, most of them, do not watch him to laugh with him. They all laugh at him. He doesn't realize he is the butt of every joke.
To see a streamer suffer. That's fucked up, actually, right? And that's not the point of my streams. Is, you know,
to see me suffer. You're wearing a fucking vest while playing games. Get a grip.
Goes everywhere. Do I bludgeon myself? Do I over drink and poison myself and I have to go get my stomach pumped at the hospital? Am I burning myself with a torch? Ha ha ha! No, no. If you're literally contributing to make me suffer, then I don't want.
I love how he's
having it all. Really?
comparing putting on a vest in moderately hot weather to getting bludgeoned to death, bleeding, being burned, lighting matches out on himself. Like what?
So you should suffer for it. The guy said.
They're completely different things.
Should you suffer for it? No. Gee, I went to work today and I earned a day's pay. Should I have suffered for it, or should I have just done like normal work so I'm not tortured all day? Like, what are you talking about? When you analyze what these people say, it makes sense. But when you take it out of context as a one off-the-cuff comment, it makes it look like I'm an asshole. Right? Because you're stupid. If you don't understand that sitting in this office and sweating profusely, being incredibly unhealthy and uncomfortable to make a few bucks is a bad thing, you're an asshole. And I mean that. Like, I mean, how dumb can you be? I might as well just fucking, you know, do completely crazy shit on the stream constantly, putting myself in harm's way. What are you, dumb? Yes. If you don't understand the difference between, oh, let's purchase a hat. That's a hat meant to be worn normally by a human. It doesn't overheat you. It doesn't...
He cannot be that old and decaying that, like, wearing a hat or a vest is physically killing him. I refuse to believe he's withered that far away. Like, surely not.
By the way, thank you so much. Felipe Gama just gifted 20 memberships to the community tonight. Thank you so much, Felipe Gama. That is awesome. I hope you guys enjoy, and thank you, Felipe, for supporting DSP Reacts tonight. Awesome stuff. Just to wear, you know, for a few minutes, momentarily for a party or something. You don't get the difference? You're an idiot.
As if to ease from the serious drama starting 2021, attention was again shifted to moments Phil made a fool of himself.
Ooh,
And of course, moments like these on stream.
The June the King interview will be getting restreamed on the Izunadrop Real Twitch channel, by the way.
What the fuck? He had a gun. I went to get it. It disappeared. Yeah, I didn't get it. For some reason, I don't know how to get a gun off of a guy. Yeah, but you see, I looked away. Now he had a big ass gun I wanted. I guess not, and I didn't get it.
Even Phil, by the way, didn't recognize, watching that video of him now,
Right in front of my
there was no gun there.
And I miss it. That happens all the time.
I mean, that sort of stuff is just goofy.
I'm
Like,
better at it now that I've got a better setup and everything. But that happens in every fucking video game, and that's just common, a DSP mannerism that I miss shit, right? Absolutely, that's a running thing. That's you know, sure. You got me there. I'm an idiot. I miss shit all the
No,
time.
you are just a bit shit at games like this. There's not really much to say about that.
It is important to remember that it was not just detractors,
But it is quite
fans,
funny.
or uninteractive viewers from both sides that were paying attention to Phil.
Because we've shown you that these new items and
This is
This
hilarious.
I didn't even know about until someone told me about it. I had no clue this had even existed.
lots of different gameplay in the different levels, the flow is motivating. And most importantly, we can actually use that motivation to prioritize exploration. Here's a quick example. I want you to watch what the player does here as he boats around.
What's hilarious is they blur my face out. Oh, you can't see it because I'm blocking it? Hold on. I'm going to remove my camera for a second so you guys can see this. This is them clipping me playing God of War 2018. And they blur my camera out. Why? Why blur my camera out?
Because you're a human being and they haven't asked for permission to use your likeness. They're using your gameplay as a point.
The top 3 comments on this video read, quote, "The unstoppable force of nature that is
Who's
DSP
liking my reel?
single-handedly making the gaming industry worse by simply playing games."
I don't even get it. What does that mean? I don't understand what the reference was because that wasn't the full context, right? What was that? So what they're showing is something about game development, and they used my video as an example of how the game development
Saying that you're shit at games, my friend.
thing. I'm lost. No, I don't get it. If someone can ever explain that to me or break that down,
Take Gil out from using the skill.
basically how that's a bad thing. I mean, is that not a good thing? That they were showing here. We put something in the game that helps the gamer
1571.
along their way, so not to get lost. It motivates them to do things. And here's how it was implemented. Here's a gamer actually doing
Huh,
it.
so it
How is
does.
that a bad thing. It is the unstoppable force of nature that is DSP single-handedly making games industry worse. Why? By them putting in things that make games more fun? I mean, what are you talking about?
No, Phil, it's because you're so shit at the
They are
games.
dumbing games down, and you are the target audience.
There we go.
What there showed the game being dumbed down. I don't understand that. I was riding the boat. There was an indicator on the shore that you needed to go there to do something. I saw the indicator as intended, went to the shore and did it. How is that a slight against me, a slight against the game? It doesn't even make sense. What's the... What?
He's that stupid.
I'm sorry, I'm not...
He's that stupid he doesn't even grasp that concept. And I think that proves the point more than any word that he could say would.
Ultra membership, thank you, Nathan. He says, how's the
The fact that he does not understand that.
We got about an hour left in the dock. Oh, what am I talking about? A half an hour left in the dock? But you know me, it takes me forever. I'm so long-winded. So we'll definitely finish it tonight, though. Okay.
You
It's
live in
only
a
4
time
a.m.
where DSP has game companies making games catering to him. What a horrible time to live in where DSP is the standard audience games are aimed at. Unquote. During this
Doesn't
entire...
even make sense. Doesn't even make sense at all. They could have literally taken any gamer doing what I just did there, of which every gamer did. Every gamer saw the indicator, went to the shore, did the thing.
I don't think they did,
Me,
Phil.
Now it's a negative me. If it was anyone else, it would have been perfectly fine. And this is how I get treated on the internet. For everyone else, normal behavior is fine. But when DSP does anything, it's incredibly abhorrent behavior for which he must be made a horrible villain. Correct?
Nobody's saying that. Literally no one has said that.
Being tracked. However, for one person, this was...
We are at 196 likes, guys, with over 800
it's up
viewers.
here.
Please hit
The
like
joke
button
there
if
is,
you enjoyed
haha,
the reaction.
Phil's bad at games.
Junior King documentary. Thank you. Thank you very much.
not enough. And they decided to take matters...
That's it, like,
into
it's
their
not
own
that
hands.
deep.
It's never good enough for these crazy...
Where is this?
Nut jobs who want to hurt me, and now they've taken it too far. So thank you, Haseo, for 18 months as a member. This has been
Is it
an
in
interesting
here?
doc so far. I
Ooh,
agree.
yes, it
Guys,
is.
Please consider contributing. This is a normal, night stream for me, and I'm looking to hit the tips goal to keep the King streak alive. I will still be here till the end of the doc, so we got a ways to go, but please consider contributing. Let's crush it tonight and keep it going. Thank you. It's one thing just literally...
I don't know how to
okay, there's
whistle, so
conspiracies
this is
about
gonna be
Phil.
interesting.
It's another thing committing federal crimes against me.
Yes, so someone just ran...
Okay, so this is gonna be interesting because this is something that I've talked about recently. All right, and I need to talk about it in this react. I've already addressed it, and well, let's play through it, and then I'm gonna tell you all about it.
randomly
Okay.
posted that they went ahead and accessed his bank leaks on using Bank of America, using their telephone. And,
This is interesting
reverse
stuff.
engineering his social security number to go ahead and figure out how to access. And Bank of America has an option where you can go ahead and
Who the
repeat the
fuck
last
you getting loud to, bro?
transactions. He did that about 500 times.
This is to the point of now major repercussions. And I hope people understand that. Anyone who's talking about this, not knowing fully what they're saying is true or not, thank you, Dark Maggot, for 17 months as a member. I appreciate it. Guess what? You're part of the problem and you're part of the issue, and you are going to be held accountable too. It's just that simple. You're part of it now. You're actually passing around stuff that should not be passed around, and you're going to be in trouble just as well. So
This event.
So it's okay when Phil does it, but it's not okay when somebody else does it.
The user's abilities, the information from the bank leaks was added to the tips tracker as a separate page. Phil's supposed transactions from March 3rd, 2020 to September 17th, 2021, the day the user supposedly accessed Phil's account, are now archived for everyone to see.
over the last week, it has come to my attention and my knowledge finally that for the record, everything here that I'm saying that he's quoting has nothing to do with these bank leaks. I'm serious. Everything that I'm saying is out of context. Everyone assumed that when I was talking about this on streams, it was about these bank leaks. It had nothing to do with these bank leaks whatsoever. I'm going to tell you the full story, the real story, because I can. But let's go. I have been subject to the crime of identity theft, a federal crime, by the way. I got a notification via email about someone messing around in one of my accounts, which then led me to research it. This is not the bank leaks, okay? This is something else. And find out that, this was happening.
At this same time, Phil gets a notification that someone has stolen his identity right at the same time the bank leaks come out.
Wasn't looking at that, admittedly.
But due to Phil's own web lies, Phil is walking a very, very thin tightrope. The reason becomes clear why Phil cannot right out admit that someone accessed his bank account. On several occasions, there are transactions that are only labeled as PayPal. Some only labeled Apple iTunes. They happen with such frequency, back to back to back, that it immediately becomes suspicious. And more importantly, they are all the exact same amounts. Several transactions of $11, $16.51, and $110.09. If you deduct the Washington sales tax from...
Hold on, my eyes are burning. I have to turn my air conditioner down. It's too cold in here. My eyes are starting to burn real bad now. Got it on too high here.
I feel like this axe skill is going to be one that links with these. So
these, you get a more rounded number. The $110.09 becomes $99.99, and the $11 becomes $9.99. This can be easily correlated with the packages available on WWE Champions. These in the pie charts are labeled as microtransactions and make up around 1/4 in his spendings. In these 18 months, Phil spent around $44,000.
they could probably also be linked to Dokkan.
These are not the only purchases, which shows his dysfunctional nature.
That being said, he
In
doesn't play it
September
anymore.
2020 alone, the month the best streak ended, he spent $258 on alcohol. These are all reasons why Phil cannot state his bank account was accessed, because it would simultaneously prove that he is an alcoholic with a gambling addiction.
Which is, it's so ridiculous. I've already told people I'm an alcoholic, but anyway. Again, it's just so silly. It's like, so we can't say this because it would reveal this, this, and this. Well, I've already revealed to you that I play WWE Champions. I've already revealed to you that I spent a lot of money on the game previous. I've already told you the full story about that last night. But we're going to go, and we're going to talk about this very soon. Let's keep going until the end of the segment, and then I'm going to tell you the true story of what's going on here.
And that his many emergency streams were only for the sake of raising money for microtransactions. Another layer of this is that Phil, if the bank leaks were fake, could easily disprove them. But the correlation between the bank leaks and his purchases are so tight, it seems he is unable to do so.
Wait. If the bank leaks were fake, he could easily disprove them. How could I easily disprove them? The only way to prove that a bank leak is fake would be to show you my real bank account and say, see, it's not the same one. Which then people could easily say, oh, that's fake. That's not really yours. You photoshopped it or you got it from somewhere else. How could I possibly ever prove that these bank leaks were fake?
He's so stupid, bro.
There's actually no way to prove that the bank leaks are real or fake, because the only way to do that would be to show you my real information, which puts me at risk, and I'm never going to show you that, right? Never.
It's like the buggy. I'm not going to show you this doctor's report. Yeah, it's because you're fucking lying, bro. Like what?
Mr. Craig, exactly. Mr. Reliable, send them to Craig, right? No, that's the opposite. You know what I'm saying? These things that they're getting me with, right? The things that they get me with are things that, we got them because we're going to say something that we know the only way at all that he can disprove what we're saying is to open up information that will just hurt him further if we know it. So let's see if he's dumb enough to do it. That's exactly what's been going on in these situations, right? The WWE champion.
He's probably not entirely
I
wrong.
really hope one day he opens up his phone, he shows us all his shit and screwed, right? Man, bank leaks, yeah, we'll say his bank stuff leaked, and then he'll have to show his real account, and then we got him again, right? That's exactly what they want me to do. That's the plan. It's either we besmirch him by saying the negative thing, or we tries to disprove it, we get the real information, and then we fuck him there anyway, right? That's exactly what this is, okay? So, all right, let's continue because we're almost done with the segment, and then I'll tell you the true story.
So what he has done was just ignore it altogether. There is no way out of this one without a strong explanation, which Phil cannot muster. This was not even the wildest thing that came out in proximity of Phil this year.
But you know, there is one stream.
All right, so is that it for bank leaks? I think that might be it. Let's continue just to make sure.
Streamer that you know, forgot to turn off the
Oh
camera.
shit, I'm going the wrong way.
Yeah. Do you know? Have you seen that one?
Well, I know of one. I dare not say the name.
Nah, he doesn't deserve attention. He's a piece of shit.
It was not PewDiePie referencing Phil, it was this post on Kiwi Farms. Quote, let me...
Oh, okay. I think I know what this is. So before we get to that, this is something completely different. This is something that was actually discussed the other day on my appearance on, Casino. A couple shout outs, and then we'll get to this, okay? Okay, cool. So, I received a $2.14 tip from the Poop Thrower. You kicked Craig's ass. He's an ass, richest dumb, hail to the king. You need to rematch LTG. Okay, thanks for the tips there. Not my statements. That was his statements. I wasn't saying that. That was the Poop Thrower saying that. And man, he was throwing some poop right there, right? For sure. Okay, and then I received a $1 tip. Did you hear Linkin Park is returning with a female vocalist? No, I did not hear that at all.
What? That's crazy.
Commission for a very long time, right? Since the lead singer passed away. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
In a while, actually. Interesting.
Linkin Park's fucking goated.
Okay, so this whole bank leak story, all right, is so ridiculous because it's not correct, all right? Those times that I'm referencing stuff on stream have nothing to do with these bank leaks, all right? So I'm going to tell you what really happened. Then I'm going to tell you what I think is going on with this, all right? And then we'll go from there.
We'll get these for the skill speed.
I just want to say this ahead of time. All right? I've already publicly admitted to all of you in this very react that I played WWE Champions, that I spent quite a lot of money on that game, right? I admitted this publicly. Thousands of dollars. I'll admit it. I played thousands of dollars on WWE Champions, even on previous, stream or previous
Okay,
games,
interesting.
mobile games. I did that too.
I'm nearly level 20, so I should be able to get that soon.
And then I told you I sold the account off after, shit, I don't remember exactly when. I don't remember the timeline. I told you I tried to change my name a couple times. I couldn't get into a faction. I kept getting harassed by the detractors. I gave up. And then finally I sold it off. So I don't actually know when that was, honestly. I don't remember the time frame. But then after that, I started playing it again on a private account, which I have now on my phone, which is not an iPhone anymore, so everything's new. All right, there you go. So there you go. I've admitted to all of that yesterday. So here's the thing. If all that I've already admitted to, why would I lie about the bank leak at all? This kind of almost lines up with that story, does it not? So if I said that one was true, there's no risk at me saying this is also true. This is a horrible federal crime that happened to me, correct? But I'm going to tell you right now, this isn't true. Okay? Here's what actually happened. One day, I wake up in the morning, and look in my email, and I got a notification. And the notification is, your account has been overdrawn. Now, to my knowledge, I don't even have any money coming out of my bank account. All right? So this is not good. I'm like, what is going on? So I look at my bank account, and I see not one, but multiple payments are being withdrawn from my bank account, okay? from accounts that are legit accounts that I have. All right, I have these accounts. They're real accounts. It's not like someone found a way in there and stole the money. These are real accounts that have authorization that, you know, they can take money out of my bank account every month for various purposes. But out of nowhere, they are taking giant chunks of my money out of my bank account without my authorization. So just imagine this hypothetical, because this is not actually what it was. But let's say there's a utility you have every month, and you pay a certain amount every month. It's on auto pay. All of a sudden, that utility company takes $4,000 out of your bank account without your authorization. What the what was going on, right? So, whoa. And it wasn't one, it was multiple companies. And it all hit at once. So this was all done like on the same day. Okay? And I'm like, how is this possible? All right? So basically, I contacted everyone. I contacted the companies. I contacted my bank account. I contacted everything. Come to find out, someone had socially engineered a couple companies, which I had accounts with. All right? The only real reason, likely, that people knew I had these accounts is either number one, because I'd already previously been doxxed, so everyone knew where I lived. So you kind of know where I am. You'll know, oh, this is a company that Phil may have an account with. This is a company Phil may have an account with because he kind of lives in this. You know exactly where he lives. I almost suspect maybe perhaps some of it might have come out during the bankruptcy. I don't know. Like, it could have been information that was published in the bankruptcy documents. I can't confirm or deny that. It's just a guess. Like, how would you know that I have accounts with certain companies unless, you know, it was published in the bankruptcy, right? So anyway, all this money is coming out and going to these things without my authorization. And I'm like, what the hell? So I'm overdrawn because 2 payments I don't owe. I don't owe these payments to these companies yet, but they're just taking all my money. So I talk to the companies, and essentially what they say to me is, so you're telling us you didn't call in and you didn't have this big conversation about this and that with the person on the line and tell them all this basic authorization information? No, not at all. Wasn't me. So what happened was, with the information that's been doxed about me, so you're talking about my name, my phone numbers, not 1, 2 phone numbers that have been doxed, my address, right? Basic info about me. These people were able to call in and actually impersonate me with these companies and socially engineer. It's not like, oh, they fooled an automated system. They socially engineered people on the phone to foolishly let these people have access to my account and make payments. Okay? Now, I actually have no idea if they had access to the accounts themselves or if they just had some dummy do a payment over the phone. Okay? But they did it regardless. So, number one, all right, one of the company I refused to do business with further. Their behavior was actually completely unsatisfactory in the matter. I considered suing them, but I just didn't have the money to do it, so I just let it go. All right? The other company was very, very good working with me about it, and basically we have now stuff in place. All the companies I work with, I have security codes, I have 2-factor authorizations, every company, so that way no one could just impersonate me and try to fuck around with my stuff, right? I mean, that's pretty messed up that they could do that, so I had to put all this extra levels of security on top of everything, all right? Now, in the meantime, while all this was happening, I did call my bank account, company, my bank, and I explained, and they said, listen, you have everything on, like, auto. You need to basically get a new account because you have no idea. Maybe they're going to get access to other accounts you don't suspect, and they're going to try to take more money. So what they do is they just flag the account and shut it down. So my bank account got flagged and shut down. And what ended up happening was I had no access to any money for a while. All right? And now I have all these things set up that are auto pay. My mortgage, my car, my back taxes with the government, my tax attorney and other attorneys who I'm paying monthly. I'm doing all this stuff, right? And now I can't pay them because all my account has no money. It's frozen. I have no way to pay them anything. You can't send the IRS a PayPal, just so you know. It's not possible. You have to have a bank account to do it. So I'm screwed. And basically everything happens here. And I'm like, well, I'm going to have to just start from scratch. And I did. So I actually had to make a whole new bank account, I had to, basically work with these companies to get everything reestablished, and it screwed me over for a while. It actually screwed me over for several months, where I was all messed up money-wise, and I talked about it publicly on my stream. So what June is doing, he's taking these clips that my detractors assume were referencing these bank leaks, and he's saying, there's your evidence. He's talking about it. No, it had nothing to do with these bank leaks at all right? So when people started talking to me about these bank leaks, I tried to look into them, but the only place that had information about them was Kiwi Farms. So at first I was very apprehensive about going over to Kiwi Farms to look at them, but eventually I did give it a gander. And from what I'm to understand, because by the time I got over there, excuse me, basically you didn't have access to any of the stuff that they were saying was the corroborating evidence, all right? Because let me put it in perspective. If this is real, all right, which I'm telling you it's not, you can judge for yourself what you think. If this is real, someone had to find a way to basically impersonate me, like I said, reverse engineer the account however they did it. They literally committed a federal crime every time they accessed the account, because that's fraud. You're pretending you're me, you shouldn't have access to the data, right? And then they did it repeatedly over and over to keep getting transaction history. So if he said, what did TJ Gamebox say? They did it increments of 10, they did it like 500 times. So they committed 500 federal crimes. No exaggeration. To get this data, okay?
Yeah, and it's probably not good.
Pretty crazy.
But...
Now, from what I'm to understand, this spreadsheet was made because I guess people were saying there was a call-in system. So they were calling into a bank, they were putting in some kind of a security code, and it was giving them access to the account, and then they would just sit there for hours on end listening to transactions, typing it into a spreadsheet. And that's how they came up with this data, okay? Fair enough if you believe that. But the bottom line is it's not verifiable, right? At all. There's no way to verify that this is real because they were supposedly doing a phone system and it doesn't work anymore. Like right now, you can't just call and get the data. By the way, if you did, it would be a federal crime. But if anyone wanted to, you can't just call and get the data. It doesn't exist anymore. It's gone, all right? So you're taking the word of someone who supposedly committed 500 federal crimes that this data is correct, and you're going to submit this on the internet as if it's believable evidence of anything. All right, I want you to think about how insane that is. I just believe it because we just believe that everything.
It's just a bunch of like word jumble.
So obviously,
that's all it is.
Correct. Now again, here's the thing: if it's real, why wouldn't I admit it? I've already admitted to you. I played WWE Champions. I spent a ton of money on it. There's no reason for me to deny it. That's the most damning thing in these bank leaks is all of this spending, right, on a mobile game. But I'm going to tell you this because I've already talked about it the other day. And people listened on that stream, but now that I'm doing the big documentary react, allow me to explain to you why this
I've just gone to the wrong thing.
I went through some of it, all right? I did, I'll admit it, because I wanted to see why would people think that this is me, okay? So, first of all, there's 1 million of these iTunes transactions, okay? And the reason that this is very suspect, all right, that you would think that this is real, all along the narrative of my detractors has been, well, Phil gets all these tips in every day, right? And then he immediately goes and he blows all that money on WWE Champions, okay? Well, my tips are in my PayPal account. Which means if I was making these transactions in WWE Champions from the PayPal account, it would say, PayPal transaction through my PayPal. It wouldn't show on my bank statement at all. It wouldn't show up at all. It would be all through PayPal, all right? So, number one, that narrative is blown apart.
You can have your PayPal synced up to move money to your bank account. You can also do that yourself. It's not bound to PayPal. Like what?
You don't have any money in your PayPal. All right, so now we're going to change the narrative, but that's okay. Let's let them change the narrative, okay? This is Apple iTunes, right? Each transaction, microtransaction. So here's the deal. If these are WWE Champions transactions that say Apple iTunes on them, okay, I'm here to tell you as a player of WWE Champions, that doesn't jive. And here's why. Increasingly more over the years, WWE Champions as well as other mobile games have tried to get people to spend less in their store in the game and more in third-party websites. I showed you this when I was playing WWE Champions last week right here on one of my streams. Well, actually it was on DSP Gaming, but I showed you the web store. And I said, you see in the web store that all of this looks like it's a better value? Because it is. They actually sell.
That's
better
not true.
better
Dokkan
value
doesn't
packs
do
on the
that.
Web store than they do in the game itself.
Mobile
Why?
games don't
Because
do
when
that.
You buy something through the game, through iTunes or through the Google store, whatever.
He could easily disavow this right now because he spent money on WWE Champions on stream. All he'd have to do is show the transaction.
Spend money through the game because then they lose out on money. But if you go to their third-party website and spend money, they get all that money. It goes directly to their pockets. Do you see? So it makes absolutely no sense that if someone was mass spending in a game like WWE Champions, that they would ever be mass spending through the store itself, and it would say Apple iTunes transaction. You would literally be shooting yourself in the foot every time because you're spending more and getting less. The better values are on their website. Why would you do this? Why would someone go and spend all this money through the store unless they're ignorant? But the argument is, I constantly play the game. I spend so much on it. I know everything about it. How could I be so ignorant as to mass spend all of this through the game like that? And basically be pissing away all the extra value I would have been got if I bought it through the web store.
So once you buy the offers are gone.
The PayPal thing is debunked. Number two, the whole idea that these are WWE Champions transactions is already debunked. Okay? You can analyze this even further. Like one day,
How do I leave here?
3 or 4 DoorDash transactions in one day. In my home, there's 2 people, myself and my wife. Why would we have ordered DoorDash like 4 times in one day? Do you think we eat 4 meals in a day?
Hungry? I don't know.
All right. Some of these things that they actually pulled out of this, the detractors that is, and analyzed, right? One of the things is
You could have done. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility. Like, look at you.
How does that even make sense?
Respectfully,
I have one
like,
cat, his name is Jasper. You guys have seen him. He's on the streams all
he's
the
not
time.
the
Kitty.
fittest man on the planet.
So, if that's the case, why would I have spent insane amounts of money at the pet store the way that they're claiming I did? What did I buy here? 10 cat trees, 42 cat beds, 700 toys? Like, what are you talking about? If you actually analyze this, it looks like this is someone...
Where the fuck is this? How do I even get here?
Pets, who has a family, who is doing
I've
family
got to use the
spending,
airship.
and someone in the house is spending a ton of money through iTunes on something, and you don't know what, right? It doesn't look like me. The stuff doesn't even corroborate. And the thing is, you can argue again. It's all circumstantial. You're correct. This entire thing is circumstantial. There's no way you could ever prove that this is real.
Yeah.
Because it's a federal crime. It's literally not evidence of anything because the person who apparently got the information, if it really is real, committed 500 federal crimes to get it, and now there's no evidence left that it ever existed because it was through a phone system that doesn't work anymore. So how is the bank leaks a big thing? Honestly. Like, when you start actually looking at it and you analyze it, it makes no sense. And there's actually idiots in my chat right now saying, bro, come clean. Come clean to what? I already came clean. I played WWE Champions. I have played it. I spent lots of money on it in the past. That doesn't mean that every single thing in this documentary is real. All right? I have literally nothing to lose to tell you that this is real or fake. Do you understand? Like, I literally have nothing at all to lose. At all. I would tell you if it was real. I'm telling you right now, it's not. This is not the situation.
But why should anyone believe DSP when he has been lying to his fans for years? Has lied to his fans since he created his fucking account? Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, the man doesn't have an ounce of credibility.
So that no one can corroborate it, no one can back it up, but everyone believes it anyway. I don't even know what else to say. You know? I really don't even know what else to say. And what's funny is now you get a person, well, if you've already admitted to lying, well, how do you know we're not lying now? So then why are you here? You're watching me react to my own documentary. If you think every word coming out of my mouth is a lie,
kind of valid.
That's a moot point. You're literally wasting your time, your breath saying that. If you already
Yeah, for me, I think it just brings me a bit of mild entertainment, and it makes for good
right? Like,
background noise while I play this. Where is this?
And of course, when I factually,
Oh.
not factually, excuse me, when I logically attack these things, then they degrade to insults. People are insulting my wife now in chat and everything. It's, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's ridiculous. Okay, so goodbye.
Crazy.
And that's what I mean. When the arguments get blown apart, okay? When the arguments get blown apart, all of a sudden it's back to the drawing board. Let's go to insults. Let's move the goalpost, talk about a different subject. They can't handle it. Just like my other detractors, like Duty and all this. When they get exposed for being so fucking full of it,
The Duty hate is crazy. I've seen like 2 of this guy's videos, by the way. I think he's
There you go. Oops, I have nothing to say. Let's go.
I don't know, I think he's quite new.
Right.
I could be wrong, but
Okay. Are we
he's
done
a name
with
that I've not
this
seen
now?
until really
I hope we
recently.
are. The non-existent, fabricated, complete nonsensical bank leaks that aren't real. I really had enough of that. You don't have to believe me. Honestly, I don't care if you do.
Skipping the bank leaks though is crazy.
The thing that's the most damning thing and admitted to it, I don't care if you believe me about that one at all. It's so stupid, it doesn't even make a difference, right?
Gangplank?
Okay. Hellrider here with a super chat. The blood ritual is complete. The end approaches. This is Hellrider comes in here and says, well, not even just in here, but in my other chats, he comes in and says these things that are like fantasy stuff. Thank you, Hellrider. I appreciate that very much. Unless you know that there's a blood ritual going on outside my house, please let me know. I'd like to go out there and stop that immediately. Because I have enough stuff going on in my life. I don't need like blood sacrifices outside, demons coming out of the street. Okay? Okay. So guys, now we're heading into
My reel's doing alright.
what is the home stretch.
1k views.
If you go to the
First
top
real
of the
1k
top
views.
right now,
Decent.
YouTuber destruction after that.
Where am I going?
The side scrollers.
Ah.
I'll have a good amount to say simply because so much happened today in regards to that.
Let me through.
Literally, so much happened in regards to that today. There's a lot to say. All right, but I will say this. Please, guys, if you're enjoying the stream, first of all, give it a like. We have 850 viewers and climbing, actually. It keeps going up. We have 241 likes. Let's get that to 300 likes, right? If you're here, you're enjoying the react, please get that to 300 likes tonight. I would really appreciate that, all right? In regards to super chats, we're decent. We got a lot of gifted members tonight. Thank you for that. Right now, the real goal is to hit that King's Tips goal and keep that King Streak going to 37. Let's keep the momentum going and crush it. We only have 30 bucks, but the night's not over. Last night, a lot of people actually contributed at the last minute. I don't know if that's what you guys are doing tonight or not. I don't know. But let's keep it going, shall we? All right, here we go.
I dare not say the name.
Nah, he doesn't deserve attention. He's a piece of shit.
It was not PewDiePie referencing Phil, it was this post on Keep.
So I have something big to say about this, okay? And I'm just going to play the entire segment, and then when he moves past it, then I'm going to have to say my statement on this one, okay? Here we go.
Farms.
Okay, in fairness, he did watch the entire bank leaks. That's my bad.
Degenerate, but curiosity got the better
He
of
didn't
me, and I
actually
ended up
skip it.
seeing Officer Sanders IRL. I think I may be traumatized. The autism was just that bad. I got a room which I told her she could stay the night in, so she brought her hobo pack. She had a panic attack shortly after, so we had to talk for an hour to bring her down. Out of nowhere, she started talking about her sister and brought up one Phil Brunel. She had a container of Kool-Aid mix, so she added some to a bottle of water and was drinking from it. But for some reason, she thought it would be a good idea to add it to her bath and ended up trashing the bathtub. She splashed it on herself, so it stained her skin. She did it to create content for OnlyFans, which should be up. Jesus. She then smoked some dink, we did stuff, and that was that. I need to reevaluate my life choices. Unquote. If it weren't for the pictures, this would be seldom believable. But as evidence was brought forth, it was clear that a troll had slept with Phil's sister-in-law. This really only scratches the surface of the rabbit hole pertaining to Phil's extended family. As for Phil himself, by 2022, he had survived many generations of YouTube and was being exposed to the newest generation of users and creators. A type of these creators fall under the category.
All right, he's already done with it. So I have a public statement to make, all right? And this is my final word on this subject, so I need to make this abundantly clear, okay? My wife, as you know, has had limited to no contact with my content here on the internet, okay? Really, she has almost none, right? Just because we're married doesn't mean I think in anyone's, you know, rational minds that she's fair game to have things happen with other people of her relation. All right. Now I'm going to make a public statement,
which is valid, but it is just complete coincidence that
no contact whatsoever
a detractor
with any of her family members for a reason. There's things that happened in the past that were traumatic. All right. And she doesn't want to have contact with any of her family members for the rest of her life. She's made that abundantly clear to me that she's done with it. This is her life now here with me. This is it. This is what we're going to do for the rest of our lives.
Which is valid.
I'm okay with
Okay.
it. I mean, it would be nice to have another side of the family to be involved in our lives, but it's never going to happen because of these traumatic events that have happened in my wife's past. Okay? Period. Like, literally, that's where it ends. Period. You saw what just happened, right? Like, we have no contact at all with any of her family members whatsoever. Since the day she moved in with me in 2018, we've literally never spoken to one of her relatives. We don't want to. It's none of our business to have involvement with them. She doesn't want to, right? So anything you've heard, anything you've seen, any time that you heard that a detractor, you know, has done something in regards to, you know, one of her family members, anything. We have absolutely zero involvement in it. It doesn't concern us, and it doesn't affect us in any way, shape, or form. Period.
Oh, this is on the
Alright?
lower
So
deck,
these
yeah.
morons throw money at people and or say that this is going to happen and that's going to happen. None of that stuff will ever happen. All right? We have no involvement in any of it. Okay? To us, this is life. This is our family unit. It's me and my wife, Jasper Kitty. That's our family unit. That's going to be our family unit. Now, I have my parents on my side that I talk to every week and stuff like that. But we're talking about her side. Nothing. Zero. I just want you to think how insane that is, right? So they're going to do stuff like that, right? And they're doing this stuff, and they're like, ha ha ha, it's going to get them. It doesn't affect us at all. We don't talk to these people at all. Zero contact. And we don't want to ever. So that's the statement I'm making. Literally, that is such a messed up story, and I just heard about that recently, which I didn't even know about this, and I'm like, that's like beyond.
I'm pretty sure he's
that
addressed this
stuff.
at some point, so I
And
think that is a
have
lie.
nothing to do with it. My wife has nothing to do with it. We want no involvement in it whatsoever. All right, done. That's it.
It's
That's all I have to
upset.
say
That's
on it.
fucking
Moving on.
stupid.
That shouldn't even really be in the doc because it has nothing to do with us. You know what I mean? At all. I think that's why June glossed over it. Because he probably said, "Oh my God, I can't believe that happened." I'll at least mention it, but it has nothing to do with us whatsoever. Okay? All right, let's continue.
Virtual YouTubers, or VTubers for short. They are notable for their cutesy anime avatars. The juxtaposition between
This
their
is
and
funny,
their
this.
persona makes for an interesting watch.
I'm here.
What's hilarious is I know nothing whatsoever about this at all. I have no clue what we're about to watch. I never had any interaction with a VTuber, I think, ever. Maybe like on Twitter once, ages ago. Never once. So I don't know anything about this.
We're gonna name Phil.
Why is it so
Yeah,
loud?
let's name him. The Christmas begin.
Too loud.
I'm gonna look up at you and huh?
Way too loud. It's like
Yeah.
blaring
You are
loud
now
on the TV.
Phil, and you fill one. You Phil's.
Are these their real voices, or do they use voice changing software? Because it sounds like over the top, like
Who
Japanese. voices.
cares, bro?
Which I get the feeling it's like voice changing software, right? This isn't like their real voices.
One purpose.
It sure does.
They're all. Are you kidding me? People are saying they're 400-pound men in real life, and some people say no, it's their real voice. Oh, okay. That's pretty funny.
It sure does. I have some gold nuggets, but they're not like ingots or anything, so we can't really actually use them.
I can't remember how to get
This
out.
chance happening of VTuber Gura naming a random NPC Phil is phenomenal for many reasons.
Why? Who cares if someone randomly names an NPC Phil because they don't like me or something? What are you talking about?
Start, the NPC she named is a piglet.
Yeah, she
Phil's
didn't name it
divisive
Phil
naming
because she
is the
doesn't like
approach.
you.
Both
Crazy.
of them are known to snort. Gura also has a piglet trapped in a cage, which is a rather insulting position to be in. The in-game purpose of trapping this NPC is to utilize a mechanic that allows players to exchange gold ingots for random items from the piglin. The piglin will also attack you if you are not wearing a gold item. This greed and desire for gold from the NPC is just another reason this chance occurrence is remarkable.
I'm gonna get gold out of you, Phil. I'm gonna get all types of goodies out of you, Phil.
That's creepy. That sounds creepy as shit. Are you kidding me? The way she said that? That was disturbing as hell.
It is also standard that VTubers, unlike any other content creator, mock Phil.
I think the good old DSP, the guy who can't complete a game. You know, it's honestly.
He's gonna sit here and go,
Guy who
I can't complete games, actually.
Probably completed more games than any fucking player besides like speedrunners. What in the holy hell is
What-
this guy?
what?
See what I mean about the misconceptions about me? That
Speedrunners focus on one game and speedrun it. They don't.
Almost every single game I've ever played.
I mean, they complete the same game over and over again.
Playing it.
Eh?
That doesn't make any sense at all what he just said.
Kale has probably done more than DSP, by the way.
Around to this day, He's like a relic. He belongs in a museum.
Should I do it?
It's honestly a wonder that DSP is around to this day. He's like a relic in a museum.
Just not funny.
That was a low-hanging fruit. I'm sorry. I had to do it. That was a real low-hanging fruit. And if he's gonna insult me, I'm gonna give it back to him. Nothing personal. I have no idea who this person is, but I'm just razzing you back because you razzed me. Okay, I hope he doesn't take it personally.
He's made his career entirely off being bad and horrible.
Entirely off of horrible things. Meanwhile, here I come, looking like I have 2 carrots shoved up my nose as I talk on my screen with an anime avatar in front of me because I don't want you to see how I really look.
At this point, I literally can't tell.
I hope this VTuber responds to him because that would be funny.
And he's just really committed.
Wow.
I can't tell.
How do you even do that? But that's the problem with DSP, is he blames everybody else for his problems instead of just recognizing the problem and then...
That's correct. I just blame absolutely everyone around me. I have never fessed up to anything that I've ever done ever. Absolutely, positively correct. What's the name of this stream again? Where is it? Anyway, so Avarice has done a $10 super chat to do 1 versus side scrollers. Well, thank you. I'm glad that you feel that way. I appreciate that contribution, Avarice.
It's so funny that Phil unironically thinks that like this is all gotcha moments.
I received a $1.50 tip.
Like it's not, bro. It really isn't. There's nothing else I can really say to that. Like it is just not what you think it is.
I don't understand why the trolls have to mess, with your wife and stuff. She has nothing to do with this stuff.
Yeah, valid.
I don't understand why they're so messed up. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Crimson Top, for $1.50 tips. Thank you guys for listening. I appreciate the
and seeking a resolution for it.
All right.
The most viral category was by far a comparison video titled Cute Anime Girl versus Disgruntled Old Man.
What are these? A bunch of little balls?
That's a lot of balls. What are we doing with these balls?
Gonna scoop them?
Can we grab them? Yes, we can.
We're making like a...
Here's... Huh?
Like a excavator?
Are we just putting all the balls in here or something? Once again, I'm just supposed to magically know what we're doing, even though the game has absolutely no explanation for anything.
Oh, I see.
While the VTuber properly solves a puzzle with the items laid out, Phil bumbles through and solves it in the wrong and most difficult way.
And it's fine, because that's how I do everything in life. That's literally how I do everything in life. You can lay everything out in front of me, and I'll still do it, but I'll do it in the most hard and difficult way, right?
Stuck on level 1.
Easy ride through YouTube living. No, I had to do it the most hard and difficult possible way, right? Like, that was expected of me that I would do it. But then the funny part is, if I come up against something that's incredibly difficult, somehow I'll just, like, do it right away. That also happens in video games. Like oh my gosh, it's the hardest boss of the game. Phil beat it in 2 tries. Look at the end of Sekiro. Oh my gosh, it's the hardest boss FromSoft ever did. Phil beat it in, like, 10 minutes, right?
Sword Saint Ishin is not the hardest boss in FromSoft. No way.
Variety is the spice of life, and variety
No
is
way.
key. The more variety you have, the better life is.
Sword Saint Ishin was a fun fight, but his concept is very much deflect. Sword Saint Ishin could have been a lot harder.
Right? So there you go.
Effectively introducing himself to a new audience.
Clip that one, you sons of bitches. Wow, that was a really ingeniously thought out puzzle, wasn't it?
This, without doubt, funneled more people into the rabbit hole that is DSP. And there will be many more to come, because Phil announced that he abandoned the 10-year plan of trying to get a regular job to one where he's trying to diversify himself online.
But with the 10-year plan, is that it? That's the end of the VTuber thing? Wow, that was really short and pointless, honestly.
Yeah, because it's just VTubers clowning on him. It was just funny.
Wasn't it the one where I was complaining about lightning in Tears of the Kingdom? And then I didn't understand the lightning mechanic, I got all pissed, and then everyone made fun of me. That's not the one he chose. I'm shocked he didn't choose that one. He chose, like, this weird VTuber art instead. That's actually incredibly confusing that he did that. Alright, guys, it looks like he's heading to another arc, and there's 2 things left, right? I have to pee again, and I'm sorry, because first 2 times I reacted, I didn't have to. Tonight I gotta pee again. If you bear with me, I'll only be gone for like a minute. I'll run, wash my hands fast. I'll be right back.
I hope he starts gin tweezing.
I'll be right back.
He hasn't done a lot of that recently. We're gonna have to put some music on. Turn it up a little bit. There we go. Yeah. I should use my AoE for this, huh? Yeah, there we go. Clean. Goated OST, by the way. Yakuza, so goated.
Alright, so this will be the final album.
What? Why did it pause the live and not?
Bullshit, but it's in my rear view. You understand? After tonight, we are absolutely done with it. Alright? I'm moving forward positively. Okay? Cool? So,
Sound good?
last thing
Sounds good to me.
I will not mention this again to the end of the show. Please tonight support the stream. Give it a like if you're enjoying it. We're at 264. Let's get to 300 likes tonight, guys. We have 840 people on the stream. It would be great to get to
The end of the e-begging.
Super chats. Thank you for the membership. Those are all great. But we're trying to hit that tips goal of 150 to get to King Street 37 to crush it again, to make it rain again, and to keep the positivity going. So if you were going to contribute, please tip, in the next hour or so as we finish this up. Okay?
It would be funny if he didn't hit the king streak or whatever the fuck that is.
If it does, has essentially evolved into is within 10 years diversify myself enough on the internet that now I'm not just the gamer guy anymore, right? Now I'm known for other things, right? Which I am. Actually, if you take a look at what's been going on the last month and a half, I'm not just known for gameplay anymore. Now people are coming by the Level 1 podcast every day to hear about hot topics and see me film.
I've never really known DSP for his gameplay. I've seen a couple stupid bits of gameplay, but that's about it. I've never thought, oh yeah, DSP, there's that shit gamer.
Right? And this is exactly what I was planning on doing.
Oh.
You watch my podcast,
Okay.
you come to a React event, you could see Phil do other shit and not even care about the gameplay, and that's all well and good.
There was a major refocusing on Phil's image via a greater focus on his request of donations. Reddit post after popular Reddit post, a discussion of Phil's ungratefulness and constant requests for donations were on an uptick. In October, it was found that in 8 hours, within 6 tweets, Phil was constantly petitioning for more money. Even moments where he got some goodwill were instantly tossed aside.
I 100% completely agree. This arc he's going to go on now is essentially the arc where I started just non-stop talking about money. This is what Voice Critical rightly has called me out for. I wonder if he has that moment in here. And this was like a wake-up call before this happened. Because I was like, I gotta change this. This is fucked up.
This was the DSP epiphany.
I saw what I was doing on my streams, and people started calling this out. I was like, I really shouldn't be constantly doing this. This is ridiculous.
Like this React stream where Phil finally reacts to the 2015 John Rambo podcast. A criticism within this podcast.
Doused with poison is
Phil
wild,
monetizes
bro.
everything. And since this react was a goal and Phil wanted to avoid proving John Rambo right, he states this.
And I have actively decided that today, since I will be doing this React event, that I am not monetizing it at all. There will be no advertisements on the stream. There are no advertisements on on-demand videos on YouTube at all.
I'm fucking stupid, bro.
This multi-hour long stream was not monetized. But the next day, Phil pops on and says this.
The only times that I monetized anything that entire day when I did a 12-hour marathon was the pre-stream and a Feasting with the King video. Sadly, that didn't really do much. So effectively, that was kind of a dead day for me when it comes to business, which is fine. I was expecting that. But today, what I was hoping is that there would be a rallying on my streams of people to come and support, and it didn't happen. In fact, today was an abnormally slow day, even for a weekend.
This is where Phil was at. Similarly, there was a very important keyword, slowest. This is very important because typing it into Go shows that the word is primarily used in one way.
Every time I play it, it ends up being the slowest stream of the week when it comes to support, and it's always my slowest night, you know? Including Earthbound, it was one of the... I would think tips and support would have been more frequent than slowest, though. The slowest is only when I'm saying, like, this, I think it really was the slowest of a time period. I guarantee you I said things like tips, support, things like that way more than I ever said slowest. This seems like it's arguing about semantics. I understand the argument, but the semantics are kind of silly in my opinion here. But I get the argument.
Nice.
Yes, too much asking for stuff. 100%. I received a $10 tip. It's just a $10 tip, nothing attached to it, no message. Thank you, whoever that was. I appreciate the $10 tip very much. Remember, if you do want me to give a name and shout out, you must include that in the body of the tip. I know that we have some relative newcomers coming by to my content recently. You may not know that. Unlike YouTube, it doesn't just come through automatically. But thank you, whoever that was. $10 tip, greatly appreciated. And that gets us up to 41 out of the 150 goal tonight. Thank you so very much. Let's continue. Slowest streams I've ever done.
Fucking hell, these guys don't take a lot of damage.
This is one of the slowest days I've had in months. Call of Duty stream today was one of the slowest streams I've done in ages. I don't know what happened there. Part of the stream was always hit or miss. Sometimes it would be one of the slowest streams I ever did in a week.
Now, this was never really a secret. It was just being discussed more because Phil didn't care to mask it, and the tips tracker would not allow him to form a more complex excuse for why he needed more money. The discussion of Phil eventually found its way to Critical Stream, which came secondary to the discussion of a different creator.
Obviously, I want to finish it. Here we go. You know, but I toughed it out for you guys tonight, and I got nothing out of it.
He then goes on to say, like, he doesn't even know if he'll be able to afford Gotham Knights on Friday because no one has donated enough, and he's not sure if
Oh, I didn't mean to disable that.
If Phil's objective was to reimagine himself, he was doing a rather poor job of it. And in the middle of all this, he made a terrible mistake.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome. Oh, this wasn't a terrible mistake at all. This is when people saw WWE Champions on my phone. Which again, it's like, all right. At this point, this is what, 2022, 2020. I don't even know when this is. This is 2022. It's definitely 2022 because they asked me about this during the side scrollers, right? At this point, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I just don't really care that much anymore. You get to a point where it's like, so what? That I play it, and then immediately someone called me out on it and says, "What was that?" And I said, "It was WWE Champions." Like right away the next day, I said, "Yeah, that was WWE Champions." If I really cared, wouldn't I have like pulled the video?
It's not about playing the game.
I didn't care at this point.
It's about spending viewers' money on it.
We were so punch drunk
and lying to them.
You're so punch drunk.
That's all it is about.
You just don't care anymore. All right, you don't. And I got so punch drunk, I didn't give two fucks. That even had shown in the video. I was like, I don't care. I was looking at my cute Jasper Kitty in the chair. I didn't care about the stupid screen of WWE.
I keep pressing 3.
You know what I mean? Daily Wrap. No, this was the Daily Wrap because someone says you were playing it during the stream. No, the Daily Wrap is a video I film offline after I'm done at the end of the day. And sometimes WWE Champions has events going on. You have to do during certain periods. So this was a thing where I was doing the event, and I needed to play it during the time. I was playing some of it, and then I was like, oh, I'm going to do my Daily Wrap quick. And Jasper jumped in the room and did this, and he got all my attention. I forgot the phone was there and open. And at the end of the day, when I uploaded it, I was like, I don't care.
Phil's desk.
No, he didn't realize when he uploaded that.
Was a rather familiar looking layout. As was quickly pieced together, Phil was logged into WWE Champions.
Correct.
The game he states he did not play since 2018 because they were a waste of time and money.
Oh, I don't know if I said I didn't play it since 2018, but I definitely have been saying I wasn't playing it. So absolutely, it's a gotcha moment. Yep.
Time after time, Phil lied about not playing WWE Champions but was finally caught in this lie. This did have a silver lining.
He needs to stop speaking like he's younger than he is. This is a new Phil thing that's actually kind of irritating.
Stating that he was playing it under a different account and that he wasn't the infamous Down from the Rafters. This had reached a state.
I'm Down from the Rafters. That was my Discord handle for a bit.
Most were already convinced that Phil had a mobile gaming addiction, and those unwilling to engage with the evidence were already unreachable in their misplaced trust of Phil, who lives in contradiction.
I guess for some people, honesty is not the best policy. To some people, lie, I guess. I don't know. You have to be a moron. I'm sorry. I mean, how dumb can you be to not understand that being honest about something, right?
Do not have the captain's key.
Oh my god, something happened with Jasper. I could completely lie to you guys to try to get sympathy and make money. I'm not gonna fucking do that. I'm gonna be honest and upfront with you. I'm not gonna ever lie to you and tell you things that aren't true, because I'm not that kind of person. Or for some people, that's not good enough, I guess. Whatever. Fuck those people.
Phil lies so much, it is hard to know what is fake or fact. His bankruptcy files remain king due to them being legal forms. Then you have lesser evidence like the Discord screenshots or even the bank leaks that could theoretically be faked, but the coordination and dedication would make these chances minuscule. Yet Phil gravitates more towards wild theories himself as a way to represent them and paint the tracker community poorly as a way to also dismiss the valid criticism.
I have the key.
This works with his fans who have been doxxed, are people with disabilities, are socially inept, or are just lonely.
Yeah. I think he has autism. And this is coming from someone who has it.
There it is.
Because I've got a low level of autism.
Okay.
Asperger's, which...
What does this have to do with anything? He's interviewing someone who says they're my fan, who says they have low level autism and thinks that I'm autistic. What does this have to do with anything? Right? Like, this is like the most superfluous part of the entire documentary, I think. Right now, this very moment.
He does make himself sound autistic with his response to this.
You don't know if this really is a fan or not. You know what I'm saying? I did. What is going on?
And I think I told Andy because I've been following him for so long. I don't want to say he felt like a friend, but I felt like some kind of weird, like this is someone I know. I don't really know, but it's someone I've known. It's the only person I really followed on YouTube for so long, and I felt some kind of attachment, like a buddy in a sense. And I thought, oh, my buddy's in trouble, and I should help him out, you know.
Yeah, you should never look at it like that.
Every creator's community, but with Phil, that's virtually his entire fan base. Phil once did have a diverse viewer base, but as his infamy grew and his content stagnated, the only thing he offered is consistency. That really means nothing when levied against other content creators. But consistency to someone who is different is what keeps Phil online. To these people, Phil is very interactive. He is a friend. Or in just the perspective of his content, he is reliable and he is consistent. They have ingrained a habit of watching Phil's content into their daily lives for the past 15 years. The harassment and constant doxing by trolls does scare some of them away, but other times it may strengthen their attachment to Phil. And attachment is a very strong thing, because when Phil says he is in need, they're willing to help out. Have you ever donated any money to Phil?
Yeah, I mean, I say over the past 5 years, it's probably about $400. I followed a lot of content creators, but the thing is, I don't support them with money. Now that I'm thinking about it, I've never once supported any of them with not even a subscription. I think Phil's the only one I've ever subscribed to. I never thought this out loud or even thought about it, so just now I've never donated to any of them.
These interviews are not entirely representative of Phil's fanbase, as there were only a handful willing to reach out. Others were in fear of exposing themselves. There are, however, endless examples of Phil turning fans into ex-fans. In the best case scenario, you get people like gamer Jay Lee, who was only a fan and mod of Phil for a period in the early 2010s. These people may comment or joke about Phil, but rarely take it beyond that.
Because I didn't want to basically cause drama, I silently just removed myself as a mod and left. And every once in a while, I'll take jabs at him whenever he does something wrong. Now, am I going to do the fucked up stuff that some detractor channels do? No.
Despite Gamer Jay Lee being fairly unengaged, Phil will try to make Gamer Jay Lee seem uncredible.
It's about me on social media all the time, riffing on me, making fun.
Yeah, this is what he does. He literally just did this with Craig, by the way.
He's into
Fun fact.
regular detractor circles and all that, and I'm like,
I keep pressing fucking 3, bro.
My channel look like a detractor channel to you? I'm talking about Gears of War and Halo.
Optimally, this is as far as it would go.
no, again, I don't know who that is. Isn't that what the whole discussion was years ago? Like, people were bringing this guy up, and they were like, hey, Phil, were you aware that there's this guy who, I guess he was a former mod of yours, and now he's the detractor and he's saying stuff? I'm like, no, I don't know who that is. And then people kept bringing it up. I was like, no, really, I don't know who that is. I don't remember. I'm not saying that he wasn't a moderator for me. I'm not saying I don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who that is. Right?
Okay, so you're ill-informed. You don't do your own research. You listen to what chats say, and that's it.
No, I don't know who he is. I really don't know. So how can I discredit someone I don't know? Right? I just don't recall him.
So you sitting there and saying that his entire channel is detractor content, even though it isn't. You can't just sit there and go, oh yeah, I don't know him.
Right? Does anyone remember him being like a big part of my content or a moderator for me for an extended period of time? Does anyone know? Maybe he was, and I'm just maybe this is a situation.
In fairness, the only mod I know is Martyr is God. And that's because of the fact that he literally spends his disability check, and he told me this when I went into a stream. He spends his disability checks on Phil. That's the whole reason I know who he is.
For a time, and then apparently something happened, and he decided that he didn't like me anymore, so he left as being a moderator. I guess that's the discussion here. I guess. You know? I don't know.
He's looking at his phone. He's crazy, bro.
Alright, let's continue. We're almost done, though. Wow, we're definitely going to finish it. Okay.
But when you factor in, this happens to his most dedicated fans, that experience is sliding directly from Phil.
Cody says, I think he met you IRL at an event you were with John Rambo at in person, so he's really old school. Oh my god. Well, I mean, no wonder. Like, literally, no wonder I don't know who he is. I mean, that sounds like really long back. Maybe with, like, my original group of mods and stuff. Maybe that's why I never understood. That definitely could be why. Okay.
Martyr is God, cashing in his disability checks. DSP cashing in Martyr is God's disability checks.
Even when you denounce that and call him out on his bullshit, there's still a chance you'll get caught up in the crossfire, because you know there's a lot of people like Mighty D and stuff that are great detractor content creators that make great stuff like Stork Brunel and so on and so forth. But then there's the mentally deranged ones, and I gotta say that they are mentally fucking disturbed. The way they will take this and twist it to try and basically do life ruination, even for people that denounce Phil. It's disturbing.
This is how you get people that swat him, dox his fans, DDoS his internet, mess with his internet as an alleged employee of Comcast, sleep with his sister-in-law, contact Phil's father to expose Phil, and totes doxing Phil's neighbors.
Sleeping with his sister-in-law is pretty fucking funny, I'll be honest.
Phil is several thousand miles away from his family, has long lost connection with friends, and that single only personal refuge is his wife, means his personality curtails around these people. And being in the middle of the vortex, as it is called, means that his words carry much weight from appreciation towards his fans or hate towards his enemies. This has been Phil's life for the past decade and has made him a dull life. That's why the Side-Scroller's interview was catastrophic for Phil. Keeping in mind that Phil will only allow himself to be interviewed by those that are not knowledgeable of his expansive history, he accepted an interview by Stuttering Craig, a co-founder of Scrotac that has gravitated towards podcast-style shows.
Yeah, I think it's quite funny that June's documentary, technically, is already outdated.
Anyone covering Phil, he was bombarded by messages of people trying to inform him of what kind of person Phil is. As a response, Craig was trying to...
Ironically enough, because of the kind of person that Phil is.
Research for the interview, Craig was making it clear that he was not interviewing Phil with a pre-established stance or to destroy Phil's image.
There's some people who won't be happy unless I just bring Darkside Phil to his knees crying and bawling. And it's like, they're going insane. Like they are insane. Phil has put out guidelines, and Craig has paid Phil. What? What are you talking about? What? It's amazing.
Craig's
well, it's funny because people are saying Craig got his just desserts today. You can skip this part. No, what we have to do is we have to watch the part. Because then I have to tell you about the follow-up that happened today. If you don't know, I interviewed him on DSP Gaming today earlier. It did not go well for him at all. It was really bad for him, actually. But
it didn't go well. It was really bad for him.
Commitment
The fact that Dark Side Phil thinks he's taking a W here is insanity.
Craig's confusion towards these unsubstantiated theories brought even more paranoia into the mix. At one point, a user even just doxed Craig, quote, just in case something sketchy happens,
yeah,
unquote.
What?
And then the interview came. Live to around 2,000 people, starting Craig and Adam Krigler introduced themselves before introducing Phil.
So I guess with all that said, let's get into this. I'm excited to bring on Dark Side Phil. Phil, how are you?
Holy crap.
Phil, for the first 30 minutes or so, begins with constant flattery, saying he is a big fan of the show and doesn't miss an episode. While the hosts are appreciative of Phil's words, it's clear they are not swayed by them. As Phil tries to use his time online as expertise, his statements are being challenged.
When you've been around as long as me, you realize you get people from all over the world and for different reasons. If I were
But are they sticking? Are they staying though? Because you know, if you have 500 people come in and they're just kind of coming out, that's actually bad for the algorithm. That's bad. You want people to stay and subscribe.
A big part of Phil wanting to reimagine himself is to get away from controversial jokes about race.
By the way, for the record, I have not watched the interview back since it happened. Not once. I didn't watch any of it at all. I just since then it was.
He probably did, but
never went back and watched it ever. So.
Or even just come.
Like I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
Phil likely didn't know that the host had evidence of Phil still doing both, which is when the tone of the interview starkly changed.
But I want to bring up, like, there's still jokes that are made that that don't necessarily, like, they don't fit today. And I want to play one for you really quick and just kind of get your reaction to this. Okay, so
this is not a racial joke in any way, shape, or form. It's only.
It literally is.
Formed in the form of a racial joke by those who want to make me look bad. There's nothing racial even described in the joke.
He's talking about selling a little black girl off to the slave trade. Of course it's racism. Like what?
I want to watch this so we all understand what's going on.
I think there are some new fans in chat that are going to see this and might be turned off by DSP.
All right, boys, prepare the slave trade. We're selling her right off for profit.
Put the kid in the vehicle. Stay with her.
That's right, she's too valuable to escape. She's worth.
Phil tried to.
It's a joke about child slavery in a slave trade. You may not even realize it. And you can say it's a bad joke. It's not a racial joke whatsoever. Did you know that here in Washington State, human.
You wouldn't have said that if she was white, Phil.
It's a huge problem here in this state. So I read news stories about it all the time.
Yeah, I bet you do. You wouldn't have said that if she was white. You wouldn't have said that if she was white. You wouldn't have said that if she was white.
Slavery or the color of the person's skin. It has to do with like child trafficking, which is actually a big problem here. Okay? So I make the joke, and of course immediately everyone misunderstands the joke and says, wow, that's terrible. How could you make the joke? And I was like, well, whatever. I already made it. Right? It wasn't meant to be offensive. Those are the kind of jokes that way back in the day.
Either way, it's bad. Yeah, there are some new people in this chat.
Off and say, it's an extreme joke. You laugh.
Child trafficking is comedy gold. Yeah.
Some people would say it's bad, but it was like 1 out of 4,000 people would actually say something about that, right? But basically, like, yeah, that's one example. And here's the funny part about it.
Joke policing is so annoying. It's not joke policing, it's more so the fact that he said he wasn't making these racial jokes and then proceeded to make these racial jokes. It's not joke policing, it's just not funny. Like, it's just racist. And the playing field has changed a lot.
All right. So here's the gotcha moment, right? Okay. What I really should have said was, it was a bad joke, but now show me 5 more from the last 5 years. And they would have sat there and said, humana. You said nothing. It was one bad joke I made, and I moved on from it. I didn't dwell on it. I didn't double down on it. I just moved on from it. No one cares about it, right? But my detractors are the ones who blow it up, make videos about it, do all that shit. No one cares about that joke. It wasn't a racial joke in any way, shape, or form. It wasn't meant to be, but that's how my detractors spun it, because they said that would be the most damaging to Phil. So that's what I should have said. But if I remember correctly, I think I basically just spun it and said, it's not a racial joke. I don't know what you're talking about.
Grasp at anything
I spun it.
The
man,
Phil's race wasn't even
he drops himself in it so much.
And that in today's standards, that joke is somewhat acceptable. None of Phil's rhetoric was convincing. In fact, his constant jumping to different, sometimes contradictory points were putting the host on offense.
The $5,000 business expense thing has been talked about by your detractors quite a bit. They say, what could you possibly be spending $5,000 on? Look,
expenses that a tax.
Fucking hell, this site really does suck.
Geez, your mortgage, because if you work from home, I guess that's part of it. I don't know. Again, I'm not a tax guy, but you cost your. They're asking me to break down my business expenses live on stream. I can't do that. I don't have data in front of me. So I'm just speaking out of my butt. Like, no, I'm pretty sure your mortgage isn't considered.
So wouldn't you come into an interview that you know is going to be about you and you know they're going to ask pressing questions, tough questions, as you've said this entire time? When you come in with that information, furthermore,
I'm not a tax expert.
you should know what your business expenses are. You should be monitoring that, regardless of whether or not you've got an accountant, because you can then learn where to make redundancies and cutbacks and stuff like that. You can't make redundancies because he's got no overhead and no employees to pay. So he wouldn't be able to make redundancies, for example. But there is a lot that goes into a business. Gotcha question from my detractors. I start waffling and then who does it help that I'm tired? I'm gonna go to bed after this.
Phil, you've been doing this for 17 years and you don't know what your business expenses are? You don't know what you get tax write-offs on and stuff? I mean, like...
No, I put all that information of all my expenditures into documents, spreadsheets, and stuff. I send it off, and then my taxes get done by a tax professional.
So you can't put the information that you don't know into spreadsheets, so you have to know it. You've just said there that you know it. You can't know it and then not know it when it suits you.
And they said, yeah, this is all good. I explained everything of what it was, and they were fine with it. No one has issue with any of this at all, except my detractors and these fucking people on the internet who want to be nosy as shit.
The weird thing is, DSP is one of the smarter lolcows.
Real information and has an issue with it. So think about that. If no one has a fucking issue with it, there's probably no issue with it. You should stop trying to ask me to give out my personal business information. I'm not going to do that. Never going to do that, ever. In any situation.
Like...
Specifically? No, I don't.
Phil was pleading ignorance. He pretended to act confused in what his business expenses are, when Phil clearly stated in the Bankruptcy 341 meeting exactly what his business expenses are.
Yeah, and basically anything related to my internet content creation, including, like I said, cost of video games, cost of subscription-based services.
Right, I'm bringing it down, some of the stuff that's included, but I only broke down some of it there, right? Like, I'm bringing down off the top of my head what I know is in there. By the way, I said some of that in the interview, did I not? Did I not say that? Maybe I didn't, and it was just me on the spot blowing it.
This is so valid.
Right. I don't see the point here whatsoever.
Microtransactions within video games, cost of internet.
Phil successfully convinced the host that he was unaware of what was categorized as business expense, and so the conversation moved on.
Do you currently still play WWE Champions?
Yes.
With Phil's admittance that he still plays WWE Champions, but not as the Down the Raptors account everyone claims he is, the conversation then moved to the bank leaks, which is something Phil had always skirted.
According to these leaks, there have been dozens, hundreds of transactions to the Apple Store. Many over hundreds of dollars that have been there. Were those your transactions?
No.
Phil finally had a statement on the bank leaks. Here, he pivoted from stating that the bank leaks were not accurate, that they were related to the identity theft, then to that the bank leaks were not him at all and were entirely manufactured. None of Phil's statements throughout this entire interview were very convincing, but Craig quickly thought of a way to try to prove some of this.
Define this, but just confidentially, between us, will you send me a screenshot of your account?
Here, this is all in black and white because this is exactly what we talked about in the interview earlier today. All right, so here it is, all in black and white, happening for you live. That what actually happened, because wait till you hear what happened after the fact. Okay.
Of your WWE account, and just so I personally, I will not share your name to anybody, but just between us.
Man, I just think about
and vouch for you.
You can see it's going through my head. Like, well, how can I do this? How can I convincingly show him the situation? Because now you guys know the situation. I told you yesterday. I do not have ownership of the Down from the Rafters account anymore, right? All I have is my new stuff, my new account that I've had for a bit. And if I send him that, he can easily say, well, this is no evidence of anything. This is just, you know, you made a new account and this is what you're sending me to show me that you have a second. This could be a second account, right? Especially because, keep in mind, at this time, I don't have the iPhone anymore. I have a different phone and everything. So,
he said he had 2 phones.
I'm going to show you.
He said he had 2 phones.
It's not even tied to how people thought I was playing it on iPhone and everything. Like, I didn't really have anything I could show him on the spot that would prove anything. I'm thinking in my head, you hear what I just said? I can't do it right now. Maybe, but I can't do it right now, right? So I'm thinking in my head, all right, maybe what I can do is show him the new account. I can show him how that ties to
The thing is with Phil is he
store.
forgets what he says.
You know, do this and this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I've
I'm
just
trying to
accidentally
put
opened
together
Premiere Pro and cooked.
how to do this right, because I want to send him everything that makes sense and is convincing. I don't want to send
I
him
can't wait for the June interview.
okay, well, this is a different account.
Same.
This doesn't mean anything, right? I need to show him what I can show him, right? So, and by the way, here you go. You could take a screenshot and black out parts. You can't do that on the fly, genius. That's not how it works. You don't take a screenshot on your phone and say, oh, I just want to black this out, this out, this out. I'm a master of doing this on the fly and sent it off. No, you can't do it like that. All right? Now let's see if this fairly shows
You
what
can scribble it out.
ends. I'm curious because now we got to get to what happened today with Craig, which is pretty insane what happened today with Craig. But here we go.
Yeah, and I will vouch for you either way.
I have to think about what kind of risk that. I don't want to say. Here's the thing. I'll consider it, but I can't agree to it yet. I have to see what exactly.
The way he's smiling, he actually thinks he had like.
Right. What's the risk? Can I give you enough of this information?
He thinks he handed it to Craig.
I'm not just going to send him a screenshot.
He thinks he fucking did him in so hard.
Phil could fully commit to sending a screenshot of his WWE Champion's account.
Where am I going?
His internet cut out.
Let's circle back. Back
I was
with you,
DDoS.
Phil.
I'm going here first.
I was DDoS attacked.
There, you look like you're frozen.
Did we lose him?
I hope not.
With Phil gone, even for just about 5 minutes, the offer to send the screenshots was off the table as he could have created or manufactured a fake account.
What? So wait a minute. I got DDoS attacked during the interview by the guy who worked at Comcast, and because that happened, which you could see I had nothing to do with it. I was just sitting there and it froze. Now the offer is off the table. That's actually not true. June got that wrong. He admitted today the offer was still on the table. That's false. Completely and utterly false. The offer was still on the table by that man by the end of the interview, and he confirmed it today in my interview with him.
Yeah, it was, but it shouldn't have been.
June got that wrong. Okay?
Another consequence of Phil's short disappearance was that the host had Keemstar
I'll not get up
in
there.
the place of Phil. Keemstar was particularly relevant, not so much for the drama that was going on between him and Phil, but because Keemstar was trying to launch a new podcast known as the Lolcow Podcast, and was previously trying to get Phil on board with a $50,000 deal that as long as Phil joined, the same deal would be extended to the other 2 potential co-hosts. So the conversation was not so much about Phil and Keemstar, though there was plenty of that, it was about the money. It was that though Phil constantly petitions for donations, he would not accept a deal that provides what would normally be.
Would have thought that'd been a good quest, but apparently not.
The algorithm like sent his live stream in my feed, so I tune into it. And I'm telling you, the minute I tuned in, I saw Phil begging for money to pay rent and utilities, and I just lost it in his chat. I'm like, I cannot believe that like you're doing this right now. 2 weeks.
So you literally came into my chat, you trolled me, and then you appropriately got banned, right? Now, I've already hashed it out with Keem. All right, we're good at this point. We have no malice against each other or anything, all right? So it's all good. But at this point, he was trying to get my goat. You know, we already talked about this in the interview that we did last week, so we don't really need to go. If you want to see that interview, it's live on my DSP Gaming channel. You can check it out, all right?
Weeks ago, I was trying to get a hold of you, offering you...
I might watch that at some point.
...you've ever been offered in your entire career.
The Lolcow podcast was eventually made without Phil's attendance, and without the $50,000 offer to the other two co-hosts, which also turned them against Phil. There is some speculation that Phil refused the $50,000 because if he openly received such a large sum, he would not be able to pretend to be in such a rough spot financially. However, that is not entirely the case, as the dedication of his fans is underestimated.
Yeah, valid.
If it came out true that Phil was, like, I guess, addicted to that one app, because I don't know if it is, right? I'm trying to find, like, what's going on, and I can't find anyone saying anything solid. Pretty much there's no solid evidence that proves anything, like, 100%. But if it did come out, would it not change anything for you?
I mean, I feel a bit hurt because those often.
All right, so basically we're done with that side scrollers thing. All right, so we got to go back because I want to. This we absolutely have to talk about. All right, so.
I'll be real. I can't be asked in this dungeon.
At the end of this interview, which June apparently he missed or forgot, the offer was still on the table. That if I wanted to send Craig the information, I could, because I told him I still would like to maybe do that.
This is criminal. This fucking.
Now you know the situation. I told you yesterday.
To log out.
Yes, I was still playing the game, but I didn't have the ownership of the account anymore, so I couldn't show.
Why is this like that?
Anything. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to basically show the new account, show how it ties to stuff that relates to me.
Yep, brilliant.
This is my account now, right? And see if there was a way that I could show the old account. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to figure all this out. But anyway, that was the offer.
Window capture should not be at the highest.
We literally ended the interview saying, this is a possibility. I could do it I could do it right away. I could do it tonight. Okay? And then the interview ended. And I went on my stream and I said, it was rough, but I think it went fine. I have no issue with the way they conducted the interview or anything like that. So that night, and this is all documented by Craig. Craig literally read all these emails I'm about to tell you about live on my interview today from his own documents.
My whole shit got fucked up by changing it over. This is still not running. Fucking hell. Pig Go might not be running anymore.
Right after this, probably I would say
ratio.
I guess it was
ratio.
Jeez, let me think about this. It was right after dinner. Yes, because he said the time. So basically, it's like right after dinner. Okay, and he sends me or I send him an email saying I'm still 50-50 about this, but yeah, I think it went well. And I'm thinking I can trust you. You know, are you actively checking your email? Because I would like to send you this stuff like right now. Okay? And he goes, no response at all. Now think about this. The interview ends. Everyone is on the edge of their seat. A lot of people think that I'm a liar, right? A lot of people think that I'm a liar because of this interview. Rightly so, because I was lying about the game, right? I mean, definitely. And here's my chance to clear it up. So people are on the edge of their seat. Will Phil send Craig stuff? What's going to happen, right? People want to know. I even said during my decompression stream, I might send him this stuff. I'm considering it, right? So I send him this email. Hey, I want to show, I want to show you the information. He doesn't respond at all. It's as if he's ignoring me, right? The next morning on his show, it's literally a let's dump on Darkside Phil session. He claims it was a decompression session. Oh, it's the first time we got to get together and talk. Literally what it was. Every one of them went in a row. I don't believe Phil. I don't believe Phil. I don't believe Phil. I don't believe Phil. Then the detractors not call in, but they're all doing super chats. They're all doing contributions. Fuck Phil. He's a piece of shit. And they're reading every one of them. They're entertaining all of this bullying session against me with me not there to do anything to defend myself. Meanwhile, I sent him the
I'm
email
getting bullied.
to say I will
Shut the
all this
fuck up,
information
bro.
to essentially explain the situation. All right.
Oh, I'm gonna play some Dokkan as well.
He's not paying
Watch
attention
this.
to the fact that he said I could send this information. He's ignoring me. All right. So he does this terrible,
Fuck,
terrible
kiddo.
bullying session. Then apparently later on that night, after getting hundreds of dollars from my detractors that day, and by the way, more than that during the interview the day before as well. I think people tallied and said it was like a couple $1,000 total or something like that. Maybe they're wrong, but that's what
Why is the Miss Noble video doing well on IG?
He emails me back the most condescending email, basically saying, well, no, we don't want anything from you. Because basically, after the interview went offline, there's no way we could trust you anymore. It could all be fake. I'm thinking into my head, That's not what we agreed to. You
He didn't
literally
say
said
this.
in
He
the
didn't
interview,
say this.
I
What?
have time, I could get you this stuff and send it to you via email. This is what we said.
Phil, you streamed this earlier, you
You
fucking dunce.
ignore me, you do a hate session on me, and now you're telling me, no, you don't even want it anyway. So he revealed in those emails, he had no intention of ever giving me a fair shake. He was convinced that everything that I said was a lie.
I'm gonna have to go on here and then
started by my detractors.
go on this
His
again and then
intention was to get me to do a big
pop out the chat
confession
because
live in his show
I can't read it from where I'm
by
sat.
showing
So
him the down from the rafters account, and then apparently everyone on the internet would forgive me or not, but then he would have the scoop. He would have the big show, right? He would have the big slamming, oh my God, they can't believe the side scrollers got it, but they got it. They got Phil to admit this. This is amazing, right? It would have blown everyone away. Holy shit. That's what it was. He wanted to be the big shot. He wanted to have the groundbreaking piece
I
of
wish you could increase the font size, but you can't. So June got it right. It was Craig who changed the offer. Changed to the offers back on the table today.
Screenshot of a different account that proved nothing at the time. He just decided, fuck this guy. I'm going to instead completely side with the detractors, bully this guy, make a lot of money off of it.
Yes, he should have checked his email, but you cannot deny you didn't have your chances.
My
Valid.
podcast, he was a guest, and I grilled him on this. And I said,
I mean, it's 23 hours, bro.
you know the
Like,
show. And you actually literally
it's
called me
email.
a
No one's
detractor.
checking that shit.
And all you did, you had my detractors.
No
show
one
up,
real
talk shit about
and
me,
grounded to
said
planet
the entire
Earth is
stream. That was
just
literally
checking their emails regularly.
well, it's 'cause you
It's
talked
just
shit about me.
not how it works. Like,
You snaked me. You treated me like dirt. You didn't give me a chance to actually, defend myself like we had talked about and explain the whole situation like we had talked
he's
about.
chatting out of his fucking bum
Now you're
again.
angry that I was
It's
upset at
wild.
that. So let me think about this. So you mistreated me immediately after the interview.
Sorry, the energy's probably pretty low. I'm quite tired. What day was today? Thursday. I need to do my clan battles.
Had a show about mobile games. You mistreated me.
I'm not going to trash talk him after this. Yeah, valid.
Monetize the detractor stream about
Real.
it. And I can keep going because you mistreated me when you tried to email me to get me to play Street Fighter 6 with you so you could get a big bump.
You lied.
You
Real.
mistreated me again. I can keep going, right? But because I talked
Clown
shit about you on my
behavior.
stream because you mistreated me, that's like, oh my God, world ending. Like, I didn't have the right to do that according to him.
How many viewers has he got?
So basically,
Marginally
you read
less.
all of those emails
Less engagement too.
publicly on my podcast today. All right?
You wanted it to be the interview. You agreed nothing was off the table.
publicly.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Literally, you're admitting all of this
But
publicly.
you made money off of review text detractors and it was okay.
He had no answer legit for it. He's like, oh, well, me not reading my emails isn't a big deal, Phil. In 2024, people...
You lied like always, but Craig's monetize the haters was annoying as fuck. I don't think it was that annoying.
propelled you to get views on your show. and
I
that's
think
relevant.
though,
You were
I
not
don't.
relevant until Darkside Phil was
I
on
don't
your
think it's a
show.
good look for him.
When I was on it, all of a sudden you got
I still stand by that. I don't think it was a good look.
supporting it, watching it. This is the hot topic. You didn't think
He's put a monk down and activated the monk ability,
and say, hey, so
but he's activated it too soon.
here's the information that you wanted.
Oh dear.
No, you never
Fucking
thought that. In
baboon.
2024, no one reads their email.
Yeah, he's done. Yeah, tower gone.
On the actual
Unlucky mate.
right? What on earth is he
The
talking about?
ego in third person is
Doesn't make
just.
sense what he's saying at all. Okay, so basically, he does it to himself. I didn't read those
Oh.
emails. He did, and by reading these emails, he completely exposes himself, and his whole narrative breaks apart.
Your reel has more than 1k plays.
By the end of
I'm gonna
this
pretend I
show,
don't have a log, and every time he gob barrels, I'm just gonna e-whiz on it.
saying, I'm so sorry I didn't read my emails. Then he says, I'm sorry that your feelings were hurt and your fans' feelings were hurt. And I said, I don't want any of those apologies. What I want you to do is apologize to me for the action of snaking me like that because you know that was wrong.
No, it was more so the bullying, Phil. He's moving his own goalposts. It's been less than a day. Come on.
A 2-minute span, which I have a clip of that I'm going to put up on DSP Gaming later tonight.
The reason his dents don't see this is because they are literally retarded.
Say he was going to donate the money from
Yeah,
that
he put a witch down, so I logged the little
a
prick.
year and a half later. It's like $600. I'll donate $600 to the charity of your choice right now.
I've got
So it
Evo
makes out of
Skelly
money.
soon as well.
It's that you treated me like crap. You hurt me. You hurt my business. You hurt my family.
He's put a pecker down, so.
Then he literally says, I've been in the business for 20 years, and basically you're like questioning my reputation. You could go fuck yourself.
Oh,
He
fuck
actually
me.
says that out of nowhere. And everyone on the stream went, whoa, what? Like, what are you talking about?
No, nobody on the stream did that.
Literally came off. Up to that point, yeah, we had been
Shit, I might have fluffed it.
points, but there was absolutely no obscenities, nothing. We were being very, cordial talk. He just tells me to go fuck myself out of nowhere. Then get this. He keeps talking.
How was it out of nowhere you were questioning his reputation?
I'm not kidding. You couldn't make it up. He's going to donate the money. He tells me to go fuck myself for basically exposing him in this interview for being disingenuous to me. And then he says he's going to super chat me right there on the stream.
Well, he said he was going to give it to charity first, but you didn't want that.
To make him think that I wanted to be on his show. And he said, oh yeah, I'll have you on the show. And I said, well, I'm not interested. Fuck you. And I closed the stream. And that was the end of it. That was the end of the interview. So, you know, me being mistreated for as long as I have been by this man, over a year I've been mistreated by this guy, okay? That's all
Mistreated how?
fine.
Oh, he's so
Him coming on
delusional.
my show, getting exposed by himself. I didn't even expose him. He exposed himself by reading those emails and proving that he was a snake with his behavior, that the whole thing was a setup to begin with, okay? Then
What?
I basically say, you just exposed yourself. He's so fucking crazy. I'm going to donate. I'm going to fuck you. Go fuck yourself. Wait, let me send you a super chat. Blah, 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 blah. He falls apart. It's pretty insane.
Yeah.
All right? How he behaved. I couldn't believe it. So that's what happened today. You can see
Why
all
do
the
people like this still sit here and play Clash Royale?
clips set up that I'm going to upload overnight so that they'll publish overnight. You can see them on DSP Gaming to see the highlights of that interview. All right? But as of now, I want nothing else to do with that man ever again. He literally self-exposed himself in my content. He proved, without a shadow of a doubt, that this was never to be my redemption. It was to be me to confess to something that he hoped that I was guilty of so he could be the one to get the scoop. He could be the one to have the big piece of content. And when I didn't give it to him, he didn't give a crap about what the truth was. He ignored me so he could do a hate-filled stream the next day and then more content down the line that fueled him to get more money from my detractors. There you go. The whole thing was fucked up. And I needed to get this off my chest because this is
Or
the last time
debunked,
I'm doing
dude.
stuff tonight. So I feel like this is the place to do it.
What?
You literally just
Where the fuck did that come from? He
let's do it now.
somehow won the game.
And now
I don't
it's
know how.
done, and I got it off my chest, and I just don't really care anymore about it.
And you were guilty, so what's your point?
So
Fight the retirement home,
never talk to
basically.
him again. Like literally, I don't care. I'm not going to talk to him again. There's no point. It's a waste of my time. He's a snake. He's dishonest. He's not apologetic for being immoral and doing fucked up things. He wants to donate. He wants to send super chats. He tells me to go fuck myself within 2 minutes. He's out of his mind. He can do whatever he wants. I wish him the best. I hope he has a great life with his new show, because his show really now has nothing to do with what it was back then when I did the interview with him. All right? It's over with. This is, again, the closing of this chapter of my life.
Yeah,
and me
it's
being
a
positive.
political stream.
Okay, let's finish this.
Our offer to the other two
Am I going viral on IG Reels?
Phil. There is some speculation that Phil refused the $50,000 because
I hope so, that would be cool.
Such a large sum, he would not be able to pretend to be in such a rough spot financially. However, that is not entirely the case, as the dedication of his fans is underestimated. So if it came out true that Phil was, like, I guess, addicted to that one app, because I don't know if it is.
You have to actually go into the
like,
shop to
what's
claim your
going
free
on. I can't
evolution, by
find
the way.
anyone saying anything solid, pretty much.
Crazy.
There's no
A lot of
solid
people
evidence
won't do that.
That proves anything like.
I didn't get one on my alt
But if it did
either.
come out, would it not change anything for you?
I mean, I feel a bit hurt because he does often say, I'm low on money this month.
Oh no, I did. I claimed
So
Archers.
you'd still like probably like watch him, or
Interesting.
You'd be disappointed, is what I'm understanding.
Yeah.
And that's where Phil currently is. He is in a place of changing hate and admiration that to certain degrees are both undeserved. He rants for hours on end to deaf ears and exists to be mocked. He has what would be anyone else's dream job, but in his case, it's a nightmare. His donations are only decreasing as fans are rarely gained, and enemies are constantly swelling in ranks. Phil is touted for his survivability online when compared to other creators. But the truth is, he has
Worst
so many
docu
enemies
ever.
on
Glad I
creators,
didn't
his
watch
channel is
it.
bound to statistically outlive some of them. He has made possibly over $1 million.
Actually
and has nothing to
brainwashed.
show for it, and is now uploading multi-hour-long videos daily for pennies. He has practically nothing
For pennies? I don't work for pennies. I don't even know where you got that from.
to show for anything.
Probably
There
a
is only
joke,
hate,
mate.
Contempt and displeasure. And being that the only people that interact with him daily, sans his wife, are those utterly obsessed with his life, Phil will continue to curtail his personality around these people who do not represent a healthy reality, as he continues to hold on to what shred of his online career he can grasp.
YouTube should delete this waste. Referring to this stream, by the way, not the.
Here's honestly, that's the end of it, right? That's actually the dead end of it, which is surprising. I actually thought there would be like something even bigger and more dramatic than that. That was kind of almost like a. It ended not with a bang, but with a whimper. You know what I mean? Like I actually thought there'd be like a big bang at the end or something that he was gonna hit me with or whatever. So all that being said, okay.
Thoughts about your poor fan?
Here's what
Yeah, I didn't think he'd say anything about his fan, to be fair.
The documentary. It's very well done. It's definitely the best documentary that's ever been done on me. There's definitely things that are wrong in it, okay? I'm not someone who's going to go to June and be like, I demand that you change content in here, but this and that, you know.
No, you're just going to get him on for an interview.
Wrong, all right?
Which is going to be really interesting to see.
Stuff that I can't prove, correct? Some things I can. Like, for
He
example,
posts his stream schedule, so I might be able to see it.
Him showing anything to Craig after that DDoS attack or him going offline is not good anymore. That's not true. Craig outright admitted today, he said that I could send him stuff after the fact. So that's factually wrong. That's something that could be corrected. But I'm not going to sit here with a laundry list of things for June to correct. All right? What I will say is that this has been one
fucking day with today
of a ride down memory lane for me. All right? All the way up to things semi-recent.
Astrobot.
Definitely not completely recent, correct? This is not representative of the.
Oh, who the fuck cares?
In my life
Yeah, he's not doing anything interesting.
But I don't blame him. Did you really think he was going to change the documentary to represent what happened in the last month? So what has happened to my life in the last month?
I'm reading through it again because
let's talk about it. Someone gave me a chance. Someone actually gave me a shot.
I'm fucking tired.
Everyone treating me like dirt. Instead of everyone saying we just want to deride Phil, someone says let's give him a chance. And then interacting with the guys from Kino Casino, right? Me talking to them in their chat, going on their show, completely flipped so many people's public opinion about me in a huge positive way, correct? It did. Absolutely it did. Then I decided to branch out and, hey, let's do a great collab together with the Review Tech React. We did that together. It went really well. Again, I'm getting kudos. I'm getting positive reviews. All of a sudden, on my channels, I'm getting a giant uptick of attention.
he gives me Nova Online vibes because Nova thinks he's not a lol cow, but like he is.
All week we had over 1,000 for this React.
And Phil sort of believes the same philosophy. Like he believes he's not lol
I
cow.
saw 1,300. Someone said 1,800. I think you had 1,300. You know, the Keem thing last week had thousands, right? My normal streams,
At DSP React, you have to start being honest.
my normal streams used to get 300 viewers. Now they're getting around 700 around the podcast, and then they start to teeter off during the daytime, right? But even my React content has seen more people join. Even every piece of content I'm doing has seen an increase. All three of my channels, you know, notably DSP Gaming has the biggest increase, but now this channel this week got a giant boost from all this reacting. Okay, pretty crazy. And first of all, before we adjourn, I want to say thank you to all of you in the last month who've been along for this ride. Okay,
Phil has gone
none of this
viral.
Ever would have happened if
Not
it weren't
really.
for the Kino Casino guys. So it sucks that they're not like here and available for me to say this to them personally, but they have to understand that just a little bit of positivity they gave me, the attention they gave me, real or exaggerated or whatever it is, has given me a shot at redemption. Because he titled this documentary, The Eternal Downfall of Darkside Phil. For the last month, I haven't been falling. I have turned and been rising. Everyone is saying it. Even Keemstar, who was one of my biggest, detracting major people who didn't like me, because, even he is in me. He's on a redemption arc. He's on the way up. Guys love it. They're on vacation.
Level 13 E-Barbs counted by fucking nothing.
Chime in and watch this.
Level 14 MK.
And again, thank you to everyone here who normally would not have been here. All right. I really, really, really appreciate all of you.
Oh, he needs to fuck off with the balloon, the wank stain.
So much for that. I appreciate that. I enjoy having
Fucking
a bigger
prick, bro.
audience again, like I used to 8 days ago, ages ago.
Fucking hell.
It's just been
Nah,
me
I'm not playing this game.
hunkered and holed in with my core viewer base for a
Too
long
tired
time
for it, bro.
Because of this behavior from these people, and the fact that someone gave me a chance, and now the eternal downfall of Darkside Phil, which absolutely would have been pertinent and would have been completely correct if this documentary released a month or 2 months ago.
Yeah, it is quite funny how it is outdated.
Applying anymore. You know what I'm saying? At all. It doesn't apply anymore. whatsoever. So that's cool. Now, here's the thing. Success is fleeting. Popularity is fleeting. Never lasts forever. There's a big possibility that in the future...
I watched your Yakuza Like a Dragon playthrough. Half asleep in bed. Amazing time.
It's very...
Bro, never watch him play Yakuza. He somehow makes Yakuza games look bad.
For the longest time anyway. But in this case, this month has changed me, if you haven't noticed.
I can't believe Craig felted you twice in 2 years.
I've fessed up
I know what that word means now.
in this documentary to my awful actions in the past, and I'm going to do my best to continuously change for the better in the future. I want to be a better person. I want to be a better creator. I don't want to be in the drama sphere.
DSP living up to the pig roach moniker. Just get a job, bro.
For my audience, and that's how I want to move forward. Okay? I want to have fun, positive interviews. I'm going to, now that this is done, I'm going to contact June, and I'm going to be like, it'd be great. It would absolutely be great if we could have a sit-down conversation that's fun.
Oh, so he's not even
about the
discussed
documentary,
this.
about everything around it. I mean, that'd be amazing, right? I want to have other guests on, right? I think this would be really cool. So, anyway, thank you all. What a difference, what a rise in the last month. This is my history of the last 16 years. Actually, this is...
Yeah, for context, I'm probably not going to restream him again, just given the fact that I don't care. I really don't give a shit about him playing fucking Resident Evil. Reacting to some shit or playing Astrobot, I just don't care. Watching DSP play games is so uninteresting.
That being said, alright.
You're literally a criminal. I might react to... I say react. I might watch more of his drama stuff, but I will probably watch that over the course of me like eating food.
I don't know who this is, and it's a troll, so I'm just going to ignore it.
Right, it's a troll, dude.
Read that or something. Yep, there we go. Another troll. 2 troll tips, because they're trying to basically piss me off at the end of the night. It ain't going to work.
Wonder if the detractors have turned on June. What?
A $109 tip. Live and let live. Bygones be bygones. I'm so excited to hear less of all this wet paper bag drama and returning to core content. I implore everyone checking out DSP. Stick around for a while for that stuff instead of just window shopping with Phil. Have a great Friday, Phil and chat. Thank you. That was an anonymous $109 tip at the end.
Definitely him.
And it is official. With that tip, ladies and gentlemen, we have continued the king streak. It has happened again. $150. We are now at 37. Thank you so very much. Ladies and gentlemen, it is just awesome to see this during the end of my react to my documentary called The Eternal Downfall of Darkside Phil. No, it really is. Because, man.
The irony. OIC to the rescue. Mate, I wouldn't be surprised if OIC's dead. I wouldn't be surprised if he's like washed up somewhere.
But in truth, out of all the people who June the King is doing these documentaries on,
I'm being told Debo sent the $100 tip. Don't know who that is.
I am one of the very few who it doesn't apply anymore. I would say Pro Jared actually had a really good positive ending. Good for him. And me, I'm literally having a very good positive ending. That's right. I promise you guys the vest. I will give you the vest for the final few minutes here.
A positive, good ending. Shut up, Phil. Like, genuinely. Ah! I don't know why I do this to myself. It's 6 in the fucking morning, bro. The sun is coming out. Oh, what the fuck am I doing? Genuinely.
Awesome. All right, look at this. The return of the original beige vest that started all of this way, way back when. I really appreciate all of you coming out, checking out my content, supporting all my content, being awesome. You guys have really been an awesome audience for this whole event over the week. It's the longest react I've ever
How
done.
far am I TikTok scheduled?
From reacting. I'm still going to do my
I think I've scheduled all of tomorrow.
I'm not doing any long form reacts for a while. We got to focus on core content like gameplay and stuff. I don't want
yes,
to
I
do
have.
reacts for a bit. Maybe in the future I'll go back and do another one. But man, I definitely need the break. Okay? By the way, thank you to Alternate Keck for a $5 super chat here as well.
Ah.
And again, tonight support was great.
I need to schedule one right now.
Support was good. The super chats, the
One
members,
sec.
and the tips.
So what's the date? 6th.
I really, really appreciate that.
I need to
okay?
schedule one for
So,
8 o'clock.
At the end of this thing, I'm so happy to say, even though the Eternal Downfall of Darkseid Phil documentary, for the most part, was pretty accurate, it's not anymore, and that's good. I just hope that I can maintain.
It's the Corrupted Monk Death
I
Blow,
do.
so
I really
I
hope
think it's this one.
Maintain the positive.
No,
keep it going,
okay, it's the...
maintain, and have a good time with it. I hope that you will too. I hope that you'll give me a look, whether it's continuing to watch me react to stuff every week on Sundays, whether you go check out DSP Gaming and the gameplay. It's all
this one.
been basically inflated, and people like it now. You know, all because
there we go.
Someone, unlike the side scrollers, someone actually gave me a fair shake, a fair shot, watched me, and now people are enjoying the content again. All right, so thank you guys, and that is it. I mean, I am hooped. I've been doing this all week long. I really gotta get out of here tonight. This will be archived as is. You'll be able to watch it in its entirety. It's going to be in the playlist. This is now like 12 hours of content over the course of the week. It's been
Jana Sekiro.
And let me put it this way.
FromSoft.
And of course, you never know what's going to happen. It could be prophetic. It could not. I hope that somewhere down the line, there could be another documentary about me that's not all negative. Seriously. It would be great to finally get a documentary about me.
Well, that one wasn't all negative, to be fair.
Has things that are mixes of positivity in there. All right.
But nobody's gonna watch a documentary going, what a great guy DSP is. What a philanthropist.
That level, I guess we'll have to find out. All right. But thank you all so very much. I really appreciate.
There we go. The problem has been rectified. I found out exactly what I fucking uploaded wrong.
I hope everyone enjoyed this project, and I'll be back, you know, after my day off tomorrow, which I need. I desperately need a day off tomorrow. And by the way,
Me too, bro.
Of my interview with Craig coming out on DSP Gaming later today. I may or may not highlight stuff out of this stream tonight. I'm on the fence because it's been so tiring.
I'm going to fucking sleep, bro. This is dead content. It was a pretty dead stream. He didn't really say much. Wasn't that interesting. If he interviews June the King, I'll restream that. I'll probably look at his other stuff as well, like his Kino Casino stuff, just out of morbid curiosity. And the Keemstar, bringing Keemstar on. Again, just out of morbid curiosity. But yeah, that's gonna do me. I need to go and sleep. Fucking God. What a miserable, bitter old bastard. And when the king streak ends, whatever the fuck that is, he'll just go back to begging again. Because it's the same cycle with Phil every time. He seems to think he's in a positive light on the internet, so he makes these drama videos because he knows he can capitalize on the drama stuff. He makes these drama videos, clears his name, or at least he thinks he does, by dropping some little bit of lore, which just so happens to be a lie. Give it about, I reckon, give it a year max. He'll say he still has Down from the Rafters. He'll say that's the account he still uses. Like, he'll realise his fan base doesn't care. He'll realise he's got, he actually has been blessed by God with his luck. Because his fan base will still give him money. Even after he turns around and says, no, I still own Down from the Rafters. I had to lie to you guys to protect my family. He, genuinely, his fans would still give him the money. They would. And I think he's aware of that, like, his pay pigs don't care. Yeah, he's got no viewers. I think he has just ended his life, though, so, yeah, that's fair. Watch the Daily Wrap. Fuck off. I hate that name. But yeah, it's the same cycle with DSP. Give it, like, 2 weeks. I don't even want to say 2 weeks. He'll probably do it in one of these streams. Once the drama stuff dies down, you won't see DSP not begging, right? I've got from it in my mouth. Oh, stuck my gum. I might be cutting my gum. I don't know. But I'm going to bed. Good night, guys. It's been blessed. I like restreaming DSP. I like just spurging out and talking over it. It's quite enjoyable. No more weird, like, horror stuff. on this account that doesn't get used. Interesting. There's that, which isn't a horror, really. It's just a weird guy. Everyone is asleep except you. Valid. Valid. I've just realised no one can see this. No, I knew that the whole time. I was just sort of reading off of it. But this is just an account I use for streams and shit, so... I don't know. I'm going to sleep.